Washington. Pass for Williams. He got it. Into the end zone. Leaping catch. Couch. Touchdown.
Welcome back to Arena League football here in beautiful Eau Claire, Wisconsin, overlooking that Chippewa River that goes throughout the Eau Claire city. My name is Daniel Zons, and tonight the Axemen take on the Nebraska Siege in a game that they have already played against each other, and losing that last one did the Eau Claire Axemen 68-25. But in this one, they're gonna have a different quarterback in the lineup tonight, as Ethan Sheaf is gonna check in for Malik Gaillard. But first, we got to take a look at the away players for the Siege. Songo Yates in that last one had an exciting game, but he is not going to be the only one that needs to step up tonight in a chance to potentially take a spot atop of the Arena League. Currently 5-0 are the Nebraska Siege. The Eau Claire Axemen, though, currently 0-5 on the season, trying to get their first win here at home. And in this last one, Malik Gaillard, 183 yards on 10 for 31, could not really get the ball downfield except for a couple of those short plays there. 3 interceptions on three touchdowns as well. He has the 4th most passing yards on the season to go along with the 6th most passing touchdowns. His name was going to be the one that was going to be called tonight, and probably the most that we've called most of the season. But for the Nebraska Siege, that's going to be a weapon that's going to be off of their hands tonight. It's going to be interesting to see how Ethan Sheaf steps into the lineup when Malik Gaillard has been able to be such an impactful player throughout much of this season. But as for the Nebraska Siege, Songa Yates, 95 yards in that last one through the air. A couple of different quarterbacks that they have throughout the mix in a nail-biter, which they had won in 47-44. However, this is going to be a different game as they're trying to take on the Axemen, who have been allowing some yards through the air, but they can really turn over that ball, as they had nearly 3 interceptions in that last one. However, gave up those 3 interceptions as well. But we'll have more coming up here on the Arena League. Here tonight, the Eau Claire Axemen taking on the Nebraska Siege here at the Sonnentag Center. My name's Daniel Zons. I'll be the broadcaster here tonight. And there's been a big storyline now. Malik Gaillard, who's been really the most phenomenal player that's been for this Axemen team, really more versatile. He can do it all through the air, can do it all on the ground. He will not be in tonight. He injured his knee through the last game, and tonight we'll have a new quarterback. Haven't had a different one from Malik this entire season. Ethan Sheaf will be stepping up into the lineup. So how will this Nebraska Siege team, who have gone off to a 5-0 start off this season, only a few more left in, and trying to get into that playoffs as a #1 seed or a #2 seed, but they need to stave off that St. Joseph's goats, who are right underneath them at 4-1. But the Siege tonight really need this one, and the Eau Claire Axemen are very, very thirsty for their first win of the season, especially here at the Sonntag Center, right at home for them. Axemen as well tonight have some weapons that have been in and out of the lineup throughout the season. Marcelino Butler Jr. has been one of the more other versatile player on this team as well. They're going to look to get the ball to him a lot tonight, as he's also back up, waiting to return this throw off here. So now, Nebraska Siege, who won the toss, is going to defer here. They're going to get the ball in the second half, or to receive in the second half. So, receiving here, Marcelino Butler Jr. has been very dangerous on some of these, has been able to take one back for a touchdown before in one of the previous games, and is able to really get some extra yardage after the tackle. So, Butler takes this one. Tries to get some movement. He's going to get some extra yards there. Gets close towards that 17, maybe 18-yard line. And that's where the Axemen will start tonight. And looking at some of the last time these two teams played, as they've already played each other back in week 3, Axemen lost that one. It was a bit of a barn burner, 68-25. Could not really get much going in that game. A big-time shootout, too, 270-207. However, nothing going on the ground for them. It was a massive running discrepancy, as the Siege was able to get an 80 yards on the ground compared to the Axemen's 10. Something that also marred the Axemen as well. They had 4 turnovers to the Siege's 0. It's going to be about really keeping that ball in the hands of your feature players out there, as well as making sure to not have as many mistakes through the air, as this is a very pass-heavy team. Not any of the Eau Claire Axemen running backs have been able to crack even the top 10 in rushing in the Arena League stats here. So now Sheaf taking his first snap of the season behind the center. Shotgun. He's going to take a run here. Can't get much going for him. Maybe gets a yard, but it's going to get backed up almost exactly where he had taken that snap from. Maybe got an inch or two to give him a little bit of space, but either way, this is going to be second down, and actually they're going to show this as a loss. So not really the best way to start off your campaign here for Ethan Sheaf. However, that was covered up extremely well by that Nebraska Siege defense, and shows why they're 5-0 on the season, looking to make this 6-0. Axemen. Sheaf behind. Number 14 out there behind everyone. Sends a man in motion. And that's going to be a delay of game. Not the best
delay
first couple
game.
of snaps.
Offense, number 14, 5-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
So they're going to replay second down. Backed up again are the Axemen, and now having to take this one closer towards their own 10-yard line after starting out closer towards the 18-yard line. So a near 8-yard difference to start this one off. Sheaf motions his guy over. Sends Butler Jr. in motion. Takes the snap. Checks his second option. Had Marcelino Butler Jr. there for a second, but just could not hold on to it. And that one's going to bring up third down now. You can tell, new quarterback in there, still trying to find that chemistry, trying to get it down with those guys. That he only had about a week to come back into this and really find his way out here. First start of the night. And as for the Axemen, Marcelino Butler Jr., he's had himself quite a season. Had a great game in the last one as well, too. Man in motion. And that's another miscommunication behind the line there for the Axemen.
Delay game, offense, number 14, 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Another delay of game. Ethan Sheaf has not had the same amount of snaps as Malik Gaillard as well, so this is really that lack of experience coming into the mix here. Sends his man in motion. Now got him. Sheaf backs up, throws that one, has a guy. He's going to cut back. He's going to get past the 10, down to the 15. picks up some of that yardage back. However, it's not going to be close to being even manageable to be going for it right now. So more than likely,
has elected to surrender. The ball will be placed at the 15-yard line. First and 10, Nebraska.
So they will surrender the ball there and give it back to the Nebraska Siege.
Stop the game clock.
Who will be taking over at around where a touchback would be for the Arena League. Axemen 3 and out on their first drive, marred by penalties as well as being backed up right off the get-go, losing almost 2 or 3 yards initially right off the snap. So Ethan Chief's first couple of snaps as quarterback 1 has not really gone his way so far. However, we're able to get something going towards the end there to pick up some yardage with a solid connection on that end to Joshua Murray, who's going to be another target to look for, who also had a great game in the last one against the St. Joseph's Goats. Snap. Handoff right up the middle. Stuffed up and brought down. That was a great job by number 48, James Dorr. Outside linebacker, had a couple of sacks in the last couple of games. Was really able to make his presence known there. He's playing more on the outside edge tonight. So moving quickly here are the Nebraska Siege. Songa Yates. False start penalty on the ground, but that's a rifle of a throw. Gets his man close to a first down, but that penalty might give them a little extra yardage.
Stop the game clock. Stop the game clock.
As the refs confer right now. But going back to it, Songa Yates in that last
offside, defense number 36, 5-yard penalty, replay second down.
So they're gonna replay second down. They're gonna play second down from there. They're gonna mark them down at the 21 at least for now. Closer to the 22 now. Songa Yates in that last one, 95 yards through the air, 18 on the ground, 54% completion percentage to go along with 4 touchdowns, so only 1 interception. Yates takes off right up the middle. He cuts back, he's gonna get on first down and more. Down close to the 18-yard line of the Axemen. So he flipped the field right there and was able to set up the Nebraska Siege right in striking distance if they can keep the momentum going. Excellent move inside by a guy who rushed very well when given enough space. Yates, handoff, outside edge. Penalty down, but a good move outside to be able to get some extra yards. Looked like he was stopped dead in his tracks, but he was still able to kick some yards forward. Gain a little extra. That's going to bring up second down if this does not come back.
Holding, offense, number 10. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, replay first down.
So that's a hold, and that's going to bring that one back. So backs up the Nebraska Siege, who were able to get that first down this last possession here, and now we're going to get backed up. Can't go 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but Siege are going to take more than a couple of steps backward, closer to 10. So now, Songa Yates, number 1 in the back. Also has some receiving yards on the year too. He's gonna dance around, he's getting chased. He flips that backwards, gets it to his man, and that's gonna be a big time gain to pick up some extra yards after being backed up 10. They're gonna make back most of that and some now to closer to the 19-yard line, or 21-yard line, I should say. Big time move by Elijah Gray out of Southern Connecticut University. Those types of plays when you're throwing it behind your guy, and especially behind you, don't tend to go far, but hey, Songa Yates was able to make that one happen. Dances around, he's got some mobility, he's got versatility, but he's almost brought down there, and then Dorr cleans it up. Big time sack in the backfield. Down he goes, James Dorr finishes up. Isaiah Nixon in there. Big time sack, Timber Axemen. Third down now and a big-time loss for the Nebraska Siege. The versatility has really shown with Songa Yates out here, but he has not really been able to get as much space and time as he's wanted to. This Eau Claire Axemen defense has been really engaging so far. Yates has no one open, tries to find one, he got him. Close towards that 20, got enough for at least back to the original line of scrimmage, but not enough for a first down. That's a big time stop by this Axemen defense, set up by that great sack earlier. Richie Murphy in on that stop. He was uncovered for a second and Songa Yates found him, but could not get any extra yards past there. However, the Nebraska Siege, they think this is close enough for them, so they're gonna go for it here on fourth down. Fourth down and 10, close to that 22-yard line, 18-yard line. Ball's up in the air, that's gonna be close. Did he knock that away cleanly? He did. Richie Murphy on that breakup, and that's gonna be a turnover. Excellent job by Richie Murphy there, the defensive back out of UW Stout. And so just like that, back-to-back drives by both of these teams ending off in back-to-back turnover on downs as well as a give-up. Richie Murphy, great job keeping the hands there and knocking that one free. So now Axemen, Sheaf his second time around here as QB1. Man in motion, hands that one off. That's gonna be a really short gain, if not a loss. Looks like closer to a loss on this one.
Ethan Skarmas with the carry.
Ethan Skarmas could not find that much room and got pushed backwards about 2 yards. So far, this Nebraska Siege defensive line has been excellent against stopping the run. And Eau Claire Axemen aren't necessarily known to being a run team. However, they're doing their best to be able to get that flow going. Sheaf steps back, has a man for a second, but got turned around, and that one's gonna be a flag, and that one's gonna be a potential pass interference here against Marcelino Butler Jr. Just too much hand-to-hand contact on that play.
Defensive pass interference. Defensive pass interference, number 9. That'll be a 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So that's going to be an automatic first down, and that's going to help the Axemen breathe a bit there, as now they're going to have it right at that midfield marker at the 25. Penalties on both sides by both these teams, just playing a little bit sloppy after having a week off from the 4th of July. Big time tackle up the middle. Skarmas had the chance to get something more there, but got tripped up on the end. A great tackle by number 11, Joseph Hampton, playing both sides today. Skarmas playing the lead back for the most part. He's been kind of split out as the tight end as well, more known to being the tight end. Ethan Sheaf sends a man in motion. He's in shotgun, takes the snap, looks, fires that one behind his guy. Had a little bit of pressure in his face, but just could not connect with his receiver. That'd be Joshua Murray on that one in the vicinity. So incomplete, now brings up 3rd down and long here on the play. Axemen, more of a passing team, had 270 in their last one, despite the loss, or 180 in that last one, I should say, in that loss. Handoff, up the middle, has Butler Jr. for a second, he broke free, passes it, spin moves off and gets in first down and more. Big time play by Marcelino Butler Jr. How did he escape that? Excellent job there by Marcelino Butler Jr. He doesn't take many of the handoffs in the backfield. However, on that trick play, he came around the side and was able to get that ball and somehow broke out of 2, 3 tackles there and then just kept his legs moving forward. Big time first down for the wideout. Sheaf calling out the offense. 2 men in motion. Handoff again is to Marcelino Butler Jr., who waits patiently but could not find any blockers ahead. He's going to lose some yardage on that one. Tried to get him in the motion with the offensive, with another offensive run for him as well too, coming from that wideout spot. However, could not make that one happen. He's going to get stuffed up in the backfield. It's going to be a loss of a couple. Second down and now long at around the 14, maybe 13-yard line there. Axemen on the march. Sheath making sure Murray is up to date on the plays out there. That one hits the ground. He's going to have to try and find something. Sheath turns up the middle. He gets something back to the line of scrimmage, but he could not escape out of there. The ball had hit the ground. It just could not pick it up. They've also had some trouble with the snaps early on in the season.
Number
got
28,
them back.
Nebraska must sit out a play.
So that will bring up third down now, as we hear from our head referee down there on the sideline, Scott Schmitz, as well as our sideline judge, Craig Sovic, and our back judge, Jeff Hobbs. Sheath, nice little toss, gets third down marker, but could not get past that third down marker, so he's gonna get stuffed up at around the 15-yard line, maybe lose a yard on that one. It's gonna bring up fourth down and long again. They still need to get a first down. It's not fourth and goal, it's 4th and 10 right now. They'll count it officially as no gain, so it's gonna stay 4th down and long. Sheath, 2 men in motion, shotgun, fires that jump ball, can't find his guy. That's gonna be incomplete. And that's gonna be a turnover on down. So another turnover on downs now. Not the Axemen's first one, but the Siege had one earlier. Now the Axemen had theirs as well. Ethan Sheath just could not find his guy. Just too far out of bounds, and a great effort there by number 15, Clarence Taylor. So now, Nebraska Siege are going to take over right where the Axemen left it. It's going to be right around the 14, maybe 13-yard line. They're going to have it on the march, going towards that Axemen way. Their own 13-yard line there. Songa Yates has his man Gray go behind him. Fakes the handoff. He's going to run up the middle. He's going to try and get something. He's too quick out there. He's shifty. He can get that, and he's past the 25, maybe down to the 23, into Axemen territory. What a move. Songa Yates just so speedy out there. Had a chance to take the top off the defense, but great job by the Axemen to just close down on him and make sure he doesn't escape. Solid tackle. That's going to be a timeout there. Axemen.
Timeout. Eau Claire. That is your first timeout of the half.
And so the defense will talk it over right now. MJ Johnson, defensive coordinator, not out there currently. However, he's usually the guy that's calling the defense for this. Got the defensive assistant out there as of right now. But this defense has given up some big-time plays here and there. However, in the last few games, they've really kept it a little bit closer, except against the St. Joseph Goats, which are easily one of the best teams in the league here. However, keeping it really close right now with the Siege. But when those shifty quarterbacks are able to get out of the pocket and make some moves, it typically has not been the Eau Claire Axemen's strong suit. The defensive line closes down and tries to get the rush first, and then there's no one right there to stop him up the middle. Yates, man in motion. He's got a rush coming. He's got him held down, but Yates was able to get that one away. Got that one to Gray, and he's gonna pass right by the line of scrimmage. What was nearly a big-time sack again. Dorr had his hands on him, almost brought him to the ground, but Yates just so shifty, like a magician out there. I almost called that a sack on air, but he was able to bounce right back up and continue to flip that away. He got that away to Gray again, and that's another big play that could have been a disaster. Saved by Gray on the ground once more. So now Yates Had a false start there. Got him on the hard count, and Axemen weren't expecting it. 5-yard penalty.
Offside, defense, number 48, 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
So it'll still remain second down though, but it'll be a second down and 5. Not many times have I seen the hard count used in this league. However, Nebraska Siege are the ones that use it the most and are using it to their advantage tonight. And Yates, although he had 95 yards through the air in that last one and only 18 yards on the ground, it was a 47-44 shootout between them and the Iowa Woo. Yates tosses that to the side. He's got Gray again. Big time move. He got through that tackle. And that's going to be close to a first down, and they're going to give it to him. First down, Nebraska Siege. Big time move by Elijah Gray, and he's been catching. He's been the main receiver tonight. He's got 5 catches already. So first down and 10 for the Nebraska Siege. Only 51 seconds to go here in this first quarter. Trying to get something on the board before the second quarter comes up. Yates, shotgun, handoff, Gray. Gray cuts back up the middle. He's got some big time room and some big time moves. Down to the 5. He was rumbling and tumbling, and he got his way all the way down to the 5-yard line within striking distance for the Nebraska Siege. And look at this back cut that he has right here to get himself free right into the middle of the field. And just an excellent job, not only by the blockers, but by Gray himself to make those moves to get himself free. So Yates, shotgun. He's got time. He flips that one up. That's a pick! But this one might be coming back, though. Richie Murphy with a pop ball pick, but I think he got a push off there. And so this one may be coming back on a defensive penalty. But let's hear it from our head referee down there.
Defensive pass interference, number 7. The ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. We'll have 1 untimed down to finish the quarter.
So there will be 1 more untimed down to finish off the quarter. So if nothing changes now, it will still be within the 2-yard line and a first and goal for the Nebraska Siege. However, the Axemen have a chance now to slow down momentum going into the second quarter. However, under center, toss. That's going to be close to being stopped, and it will be. They're going to drop him back for about a loss of 1, maybe a loss of 2. Big-time play by the Eau Claire Axemen to cover that up and slow down that toss play. Excellent containment. That'll bring up second down here, and it should
That is the end of the first quarter.
end off this quarter here at the Sonntag Center. A big-time play to set up this second down and goal, and that's where we'll continue off of here on the Arena League.
What if you could talk directly to your favorite Arena League player? Welcome to VIP Ballers, a social media platform where you can get direct access to your favorite player, DM them, get training for your young athlete, mentorship, personalized videos, and exclusive content. All you need to do is head to VIPballers.com, sign up, and follow your favorite TAL player.
The neighbors just stopped by. Can you throw these on the grill?
Garage beef? Huh. 5 more minutes.
All beef hot dogs.
filled with beer.
Honey, where are the gosh dang dogs?
5 more minutes. Garage beef from Garage Beer.
What'd you do to these dogs?
Almost done.
Come on, man. Let's get it.
Welcome back to the Arena League football here at the Sonnentag Center. I'm Daniel Zons, and right now it is a 0-0 game in the second quarter here as they take the snap, and this going right up the middle, and they're close, but they're not going to get there. That's going to be stopped close to the 2, maybe the 1 yard line. I don't even think they got a yard on this one. Excellent job now by the Axemen to close that down and contain something that they've been struggling with much of this game. They've been really putting it up here at the 1 yard line, really trying not to allow them anything on this one. Under center now. Yates rolls out, looking around, trying to find someone, tosses that one up. That's going to be caught. Did he catch it? He did. Touchdown, Nebraska Siege. How did he get that one in there, and how did he hold on to that? That was a great job by Vince Brown, the tight end out of Missouri University. Big time touchdown. Songa Yates rolls out of the pocket and was able to flip that one up, had a jump ball situation, and somehow, some way, Brown was able to come down with that one. He's a big target out there, and he's going to let you know he was standing out like a sore thumb compared to the other Axemen players out there. Excellent job there by Brown. So now going for the extra attempt here. Takes the snap. This goes right up the middle. That's Yates. He's going to try and get that one. Almost had him, but that's going to be a grab around the neck. Did he get it? No. He got him around the back. That's going to be a big time tackle. But they're going to throw a challenge flag, is the coach of the Siege. Ref's conferring on whether or not he can challenge that right now. I don't believe he can. Had a hold of his back of his helmet on that one is what they're trying to say, but he had a tackle, had an arm around beforehand, did Richie Murphy, and just grabbed him and pulled him to the side.
Ruling on the field of the runner stopping short of the goal line is confirmed.
They're going to confirm it there, so he will be short of the goal line, so it's going to stay a 6-0 lead for the Nebraska Siege instead of an 8-0 lead. Axemen gave up that one after giving a big-time play to get to that situation. They were able to close up on defense and not allow anything really outside the pocket up until that last play where they were able to get Songa Yates outside on a rollout, and then gave him the time to settle down to then find his big guy up top. And Brown came down with that touchdown and gave the Siege the lead that they have right now. Sitting back to return this one for the Eau Claire Axemen is going to be number 11. That's going to be Joseph. All right, excuse me. That's going to be number 11, Bryant Smith, wide receiver and defensive back for the Axemen. Sitting patiently ready to return this one. On the other end, as they make a quick substitution to the Axemen. Malik Gaillard was also injured tonight, so Ethan Sheaf back in for the quarterback position for the Axemen. As this throw off goes, it's returnable. And there he goes up the middle, or on the sideline, I should say, and he gets a big-time play, gets a good setup for the Eau Claire Axemen team. It's going to get him close to about the maybe 16, maybe 17-yard line. First down, Axemen here with 13:34 to go in this second quarter. As I was saying, Brian Smith, wide receiver, defensive back, he plays both sides, but they also have him coming out on special teams as well to return a kick just like that one. Trying to reserve Marcelino Butler Jr.'s body for the rest of this game, as he's going to be seeing a lot of action tonight. Sheaf, man in motions, Murray. Fires that one deep. He's got a man for a second, but just too far on that play. His intended target was Brian Sandiford Jr. He's a big man, but he just could not outstretch those arms long enough, and it's going to be incomplete on the play. Second down. Kentrell Pierce in that backfield as well. He's one of the better corners on this team, as that's going to be a run right up the middle for Songa Yates, and he's not going to get much there. In fact, he might lose a yard or two. So now, backed up, third down and long again for the Eau Claire Axemen with 12:36 to go here in the second quarter. Sheaf. In that last drive, he got them within striking distance. Now he's going to have to get them out of a pickle here, and that got knocked cleanly to the ground, and that's going to be incomplete. So that's going to bring up now a fourth down and long again.
Eau Claire has elected to surrender. The ball will be placed at the 15-yard line, 1st and 10, Nebraska.
And as you heard there, Axemen surrendered the ball there, so it's going to be a first down and 10 for the Nebraska Siege. Just a great job by the Nebraska defensive line getting up in there and getting the hands up. I think that's the number one thing, especially when it's a defensive lineman or even a blitzing backer, is to get those hands up when you're on the rush and you know you're not going to be able to get in. Jaleel Holmes on that one just knocked that one, let it flutter to the ground, and it will be an incomplete ball now for the Nebraska Siege, as they were able to score on that last drive. It was an extended one as we went out of the first quarter with it being 0-0, but then into the second quarter we went, and Nebraska was able to get in and get that touchdown. So now Yates quickly looking, has plenty of time right now, throws that one. He's got his man Brown, got that touchdown earlier. Can he get more? He's going to get close to about the 21-yard line before being brought down. An excellent job there by Brown, who had that big-time touchdown on a flip play by Yates earlier. And that's another thing to highlight about Yates, is not only the versatility, but also the way he's able to make things happen out there on offense. Not only is he that kind of general out there, but he can really make some moves, and especially make some throws that should not be able to happen. And that makes another one right there, as that's a big-time first down. That's going to be the Kevin Davis, who just sat right there in the middle of the field. No one came around him, and all he had to do was just grab that one and just turn upfield. Excellent job. Yates firing a bullet to Davis and getting another first down here. So first down at the 14-yard line. Takes the snap. Yates goes up the middle. He's got plenty of room if he can get by him. And he got past the 5, close to the 4. Big time first down. Nebraska Siege have the march going here. Big time run by Yates. It didn't look like he had much going for him right there, but what you don't realize is as soon as he steps back, he has that chance to really move forward, and as soon as he even has a little bit of wiggle room out there, he's able to just take it for a couple yards or more. And he took it for quite a few on that one. Big time first down, setting him up inside the 4. Yates fires it, has his man Brown again. Did he get in? He did. Touchdown. Touchdown, Nebraska Siege. Another Yates to Brown connection for a touchdown. And that's going to be his second of the night on only his 3rd catch. So it's going to stay at 12-0 for now before the extra point attempt there, as that's a big-time play by a big-time man. Brown out there getting a big-time grab for a touchdown. So now Yates, shotgun, has pressure, has to dive and dip around. turns and throws that across his body, and that's gonna get picked. Intercepted again. Or intercepted for the first time. That's gonna be Keyshawn Cunningham. Defensive back on that one, so it's gonna stay at 12-0. Excellent job there by the Axemen defense to cover up and keep it a closer 12-0 than a 13 or 14-0 play. Just read the eyes of Yates perfectly and sat on that one and waited to make the play, almost like a bait and switch there. Excellent job by the Axemen defense after giving up another touchdown on this one. So now the offense are gonna get another chance. And back to return it this time is Butler Jr. Needing that extra spark are the Axemen. Let's see what he can give them. But just another connection there for Brown to be able to make another touchdown on that last drive for the Nebraska Siege. It's the type of plays he makes here, as that throw off is gonna bounce right before the 15. So actually that's gonna be before the 10. That did not go far enough, so that's gonna be a penalty. Did not throw it far enough.
Illegal throw. The ball did not get to the 10-yard line. The ball will be placed at the 25-yard line. 1st and 10, Eau Claire.
So that'll be an illegal throw. That's gonna put them right smack dab in the center of the field, right at the 25-yard line for the Axemen to take over their best field position of the night, other than their 4th down turnover on defense. So now with 9:27 left in the second quarter and a 12-0 lead, Axemen need this drive to really get back into it. However, a long game left to go. A score here would really make a big time difference. So now, Skarmas to his right. Takes the snap, fires that one, nearly knocked down and incomplete. That's gonna be Joshua Murray, who's actually stepped in at quarterback for Ethan Sheaf. Throwing that one to Ethan Sheaf, actually, on that play. A little bit of trickeration there. So it's gonna be an incomplete ball on that one, though. So 2nd down and 10 with 8:57 to go here in the second quarter. Sitting right at that 25-yard line on the march. Axemen, Murray, backfield, looks around, fires that one over his body. He's got a man for a 1st down. On that crossing route was Brian Sandefur Jr. for his 1st catch of the game. 1st down, Axemen. Sandefur Jr. hasn't had his name called too much in these last few games. However, getting his name on the board there with a big-time catch as Joshua Murray has stepped into the game at quarterback. Murray takes the snap. He's mobile too. He plays wide out. Fires that one across his body. Had a man wide open for a second. Couldn't bring that one down. That's Brian Sandefur again. Had a hand on it, but could not corral it. A little bit too tall for him, and he's a pretty tall guy. So that's gonna bring up 2nd and 10 now. 7:51 to go in this second quarter as well. Both teams with 3 timeouts here. Could come down to potentially using those here in the end of the second quarter if they can get a score here. Murray had stopped for a second, but couldn't get much more other than that first initial drive. He got stopped in the backfield, but then was able to move forward for a little bit. Got closer to the line of scrimmage, but I believe it's still gonna be maybe a loss about an inch or two. 3rd down and long. And they don't have it past that 1st down marker, so it's not a 3rd down and goal either. This is gonna be 3rd down and long and could potentially be 4 down territory as well. Murray trying to send his guy behind him. In motion, Sandefur. Murray fires that one, has a guy for a second. Big time catch, and that's gonna be number 13, I believe that's Eldridge Joyce. Tight end, defensive back. He plays more defense, but he's in there for offense. Great job by Joyce to be able to find his way for maybe about a 5-yard gain, and that's gonna set them up in a good position there. Murray got absolutely smoked on the play when he was trying to fire that one too. Great job by Murray to be able to stand in the pocket, but that pressure from the Nebraska Siege has been all over him all game. Skarmas next to Joshua Murray. Murray's gonna dip and dive out of the pocket, throws that one up. That's gonna be a chance to the pick. That might be a touchdown. As of right now, it's gonna be an incomplete pass, but there was a pass interference on the play. Looked like it could have been an interception as well, too.
Defensive pass interference, number 4. The ball be placed at the 1 yard line, automatic first down.
So it's gonna be an automatic first down, a big time penalty, which could have really given this Nebraska Siege the offense that they needed, the ammunition they needed to really get back on offense here and close out this one. But Axemen, big time play after big time play, and this one with Joshua Murray in the mix, the versatile Joshua Murray. Man in motion for the Axemen. This means Sandifer. Murray rolls out right, toss that one back in the end zone. Did he come down with it? He did! Touchdown, Axemen. Eldridge Joyce, the tight end on the play, coming up with the jump ball, and that's going to be a touchdown.
A touchdown.
Big time play there from Murray to Eldridge Joyce. And just putting the guns up. He's absolutely just a big time player and a strong guy to be able to rip that one away from, it looked like it was almost a jump ball in basketball the way they threw that up.
Ruling on the field with
and
a
just
touchdown.
skied up was
under
Eldridge
review.
Joyce, who came down with that one cleanly. It's gonna cut this lead down to a 6-point lead with 5:55 to go here in the second quarter with an extra
The ruling on the field of a touchdown is confirmed. Touchdown Eau Claire.
And thanks to our guys there on the field, that's gonna be confirmed as a touchdown. Referees tonight, Tim McGowan. Headline is Scott Schmitz. Line judge Craig Savick. Back judge Jeff Hobbs, and sky judge Zach Gustafson making the play, making the call there, as that was a big time play by Eldridge Joyce. Murray runs up the field, tosses that one. He's got a wide open guy. It's like deja vu. Eldridge Joyce was there again, but there's a flag on the play. He may have thrown that when he had passed the line of scrimmage, but we'll see what they call here.
Legal forward pass, offense number 4. Result of the play is that the try will not count. We will go for a throw off.
So because of that penalty, the try won't count, so it will stand as a 6-12 lead for the Siege. However, the Axemen are now on the board. First time this game, and first time they've really been within the 10-yard line for most of this, as it was a big-time jump ball by Eldridge Joyce that was able to bring in a touchdown for this team, as Murray, who tried to find his way to get that ball off in time, just stepped right over before he was able to throw that football. So it's going to come back as a penalty, which means that the try does not count. But it was Joyce again who came down with another jump ball play, and you can see it right there on his face. It just, the emotion took over. He almost had himself making it an 8-point lead to a 12-point lead, or an 8-point to 12-point score. Axemen have had some issues with the 2-point tries this year as well. But in that last one, they're defensive.
The previous ruling of the passer throwing the ball over while he passed the line of scrimmage is under review.
They're going to actually take another look at this to make sure that it was not a forward pass. This is what we're looking at this is what the refs are looking at right now. Just making sure that Joshua Murray actually stepped over the line. It's really close here. He gets the ball off just right before he's able to hit that line, but just, this is why these refs are helping us here tonight, because I definitely couldn't be able to make this kind of a judgment call, because it is very close. And just on the replay though, it just looks like he has a whole foot over the line.
After review, the ruling on the field of an illegal forward pass has been overturned.
Wow.
The runner's back leg was on the 10-yard line. Result of the play is a 2-point conversion, Eau Claire.
So it didn't really matter where he had his foot on the line, because I thought he had stepped over. It matters where he threw the ball from. He was not past the line when he threw the ball. Where his foot came to step down, that's where he had crossed the line. However, great judgment call by the refs there. Again, I wouldn't have been able to make something like that. So now the Axemen have cut this lead down to a 4-point game, 12-8 with the Siege ready to return another throw off here. Marcelino Butler Jr. is the one that's going to be throwing the ball, and that's going to be going across the way to number 7. That's going to be Kevin Davis. Got a big-time pass in the last one. Got him about 10, maybe 12 yards. Butler Jr., that one's going to be returnable. No, it's going to bounce up. He's going to still try and return it. It's Harris. He needs to get past that line, and he did, but it's going to be at the 4-yard line is where the Nebraska Siege will start. So Davis thought he had some room to be able to make something happen in the backfield. However, he's going to get stopped at that 4-yard line, and that might be the worst field position the Nebraska Siege have had all game long. Excellent job there by the defensive return team for the Axemen to be able to cover that up. Forces them at the 4-yard line to be able to really try and come back into this. Now only down by 4, 5:30 to go in the second quarter. Axemen have had some great rushes on defense. Can they get another one here? Fast throw. That's going to be complete. Maybe for a gain of about 8 or 9 on that one. Maybe closer to 7 if they have it at the 10. So a big time play that gives them some breathing room there. Sends a man in yoke motion. Yates throws that one. Quick ball. That one's going to be Brown. He's going to get the first down and a little bit more close to that midfield marker, but he's going to be about 2 yards shy. 24-yard line, so a big time first down for the big man, Brown. Rumbling down that field. He's had a couple of catches already, 2 for touchdowns. And on that one, gets him a great first down. So Yates looking, has his man, that's gonna be Hampton. He's gonna turn it upfield, he's got a first down and more, he's going on the sideline. Past the 5, down to the 4. Big time play. This one is for Hampton. They've been finding a bunch of different receivers out there to be able to find some different versatility, and it's resulted in some receiving yards after the catch, especially here. Excellent job by Hampton. Handoff there to Hampton. He's going to get the touchdown. I want to reward him for his excellent play that got them to the position where they were down at the 4-yard line, and that's going to be a touchdown for the time being, and it will be a touchdown for sure. So rewarding Hampton on that run, rewarding Hampton with a run there for a touchdown, only a 4-yard gain, but still an excellent job by one of the more versatile players out there on the field. So now going to that second, he was able to cut right back up. Now Yates for that extra point try here. Yeah, he's gonna be rushed out of the pocket. He's gonna go upfield. He got a little bit of yards, but he couldn't get in there. He got stopped close to the 4, and then pile drive by a wave of green jerseys back to the 10-yard line. Extra point try will not go. It's gonna stay at an 18-8 lead with 3:35 here to go in the second quarter. Again, defense for this extra point try have been just really locking down, and they allowed the St. Joseph's Goats 60 points in that last one. However, they didn't allow a single extra point try to be completed. So this defense knows what to do in the short coverage zone where they are backed up to the wall, especially within the 10, within the 5-yard line, but the big time plays have really been scorching them so far this game. So defense again, troubles in paradise as Axemen had gotten right back into it, cut the lead down to 4, but then gave up 2 big plays to the Nebraska Siege that really just took the top off the defense, and they could not come back from it. Wrapped up by an excellent Joseph Hampton catch, and then a run subsequently after. So now, throwing Elijah Gray back to return is Marcelino Butler Jr. He's dangerous back there. Jukes to the right, he turns upfield, he's got some space. Close towards the 20, might mark him down at the 19. And he is so shifty out there when he gets a chance to actually move and get some breathing room. He's able to really turn up the field. And you saw right there, he got backed up for a second before he was able to turn right around and pick up some extra yards. They're gonna mark him close to the 19, and that's gonna be 1st and 10. Axemen on the move. Murray still in that backfield. They're gonna keep him at quarterback, at least for now. Shotgun, throws that one deep, that's Butler Jr., they had him wide open, touchdown! Double move by Marcelino Butler Jr. for a touchdown. Big time play, big time throw. Joshua Murray, who's came into this game as a wide receiver, is really making a name for himself as their backup quarterback. Joshua Murray with this excellent dime, and Butler Jr. just burned his guy and turned it up for an excellent catch. That was the answer the Axemen needed right there. And that cuts this one down to 4 right now. Can they get an extra point here? Murray dancing around the backfield. He's got time. He finds his guy. That's going to get picked off. Great job reading the defense on that one for the Siege. And that's going to stop this at an 18-14 lead for the Siege, but still that defense stepping up. And now that defense has turned into offense for the Axemen, and now the Siege have a chance to add some more onto that lead with only 2:55 to go here in the second quarter. Axemen down by 4 in this one after giving up a big-time play in that last drive. They getting back, and they had their own big-time play to Marcelino Butler Jr. Huge one that got him his first touchdown of the game, and now Axemen trying to tighten up on defense, not trying to allow another one to answer back to this with only 2:55 to go in the second quarter before halftime. Both teams have all 3 timeouts left, so it will be, when it gets down to it, it will be crunch time. They will have all those timeouts remaining for it. Marcelino Butler Jr., set up by him, by the way, on that kick return. He had all the yards in that drive. So that throw off there, returnable. It's gonna go up the field. He's gonna get past the 15, some blockers too, but stops him there close to the 20, if not directly on the 20. It's gonna be Dudley. He was able to turn up, looked like he was gonna get stopped clean close to the 12, but he was able to make something happen on that far right sideline and got enough blockers to really keep pushing forward, so they're gonna get it at the 20 as well too. Almost exactly where Marcelino Butler Jr. had his return as Sonia Yates gets his team all lined up. 2 wideouts, 1 on either side of him. He has a man behind him as well. Sends Davis in motion. Yates fires it, got Brown over the middle, no one was covering him. He's gonna double move and try and turn it up. Gets close to that first down. They're gonna be off by maybe a couple of yards there. Second down. With 2:02 left to go here, it's gonna be a timeout before the final 2 minutes of this one in the second quarter. And let me tell you, this Nebraska team has been really getting into it with the Eau Claire Axemen team, and this has been such a heated matchup between the 2 teams that are on 2 opposite ends of the spectrum for the Arena League, but we got more action for you right after this. And we're back with a nail biter here at the Sonanteg Event Center here on the Arena League. Eau Claire Axemen down 14-18 with the Nebraska Siege marching. Yates sends Harris in motion. Has man rushing, incomplete. Yates trying to get his man. That was Kevin Mosey in the vicinity, but just could not get him to wrap around the way he wanted him to. So that will bring up a third down here and short. Yates, very tricky player in the backfield. He's almost been sacked about 4 times now. I've almost called him on a sack before, and it turned out that he was able to escape and turn around and find a guy for a short gain. It's the type of magician he is, as Yates dancing around, looking, steps up, fires that one backwards. He's got a man. That's Gray again. He's found him before, and this time it might be a for a touchdown. It will. Touchdown, Elijah Gray. On a broken play that had Yates turned all the way around the defense, had 3 men on him. He was able to find Elijah Gray in the backfield for a big catch and turned it up for a touchdown. I mean, look at the speed here. He's not known for his take the top off the defense speed, but he turned it up here and was able to get that seam and outran everyone on that far left sideline. So a big time touchdown to answer the Axemens. 1:36 to go here in the second quarter. Songa Yates steps back. He's got a blitz coming his way, and that's going to be picked off. Another extra point try picked off, and a little pushing and shoving there towards the end as Axemen players got mixed in with a couple of Siege players. So it'll be incomplete, no good, and it will stand at 24-14 as the referees act as the mediators down there and knock away each other's players from getting in each other's face. Things are heated outside as well as in here. Over 80 degrees, and it feels like it with how high the tensions are with a game that matters so much to the Nebraska Siege and a game that matters so much to the Axemen. First potential win of the season for the Axemen if they can kick the foot on the pedal. However, the Nebraska Siege trying to lock up that #1 seed as they will take on the St. Joseph's Goats next weekend. And they don't want to go into that 4-1 here as the Goats have a chance, or 5-1 I should say, as the Goats have a chance to also go on 5-1. So, as of right now, 24-14, Nebraska Siege leading in this one here at the Sonanteg Center. Throw off impending. Back there to return is going to be number 11, Bryant Smith. He's going to get a returnable one here. He's going to go up the middle. He's got blockers. Turns out right sideline and gets some movement past the 15, maybe close to the 17. And again, another helmet comes off. This one from Richie Murphy, the defensive back. Just really illustrating the tenacity between these two teams, the physicality that we've been seeing on display tonight. So a decent return there from Bryant Smith, who's been taking turns with Marcelino Butler Jr. for those kickoff duties. Perry, as well as that offensive line, have been able to really find their groove in that last drive here, and really trying to find it in this one as well. Perry, or Murray, I should say, as that's going to be a referee
Please set the game clock to 1:28. It'll start on the snap.
And with only 1:28 to go here in the second quarter, Axemen were able to drive down the field in their last one thanks to a big Marcelino Butler Jr. on a double move that took the top off the defense, burned his guy, got a diving touchdown, nearly had the extra point as well, but that one didn't go through. However, it stayed at 24-14 now. Murray sends his man in motion. That's Butler. He's going to stop short. He's going to try and find something. He moves past the 20, maybe a gain of 6 on that one, close towards the 21-22. And that will be where they give him with 1:21 to go. Moving a little bit quicker here.
Wind the clock, wind the clock.
As they keep the clock moving here. He did not go out of bounds, so it does not stop the clock there. Murray, shotgun, has an extra blocker, but finds his man there. That's gonna be a big time first down past the sticks. On a 2nd down and 4 with only 1:07 to go. Moving the needle along, keeping it pushing into Nebraska Siege territory, down to the 23. First down, Axemen, under a minute to go. Murray's been able to keep this game flowing after Ethan Sheaf started the game. And now it's going to be a timeout by the offense coordinator for the Axemen.
Timeout, Eau Claire. That is your second timeout of the
Second
half.
charge timeout for the Axemen now. Only one remaining with 43 seconds to go. And as I said earlier, Marcelino Butler Jr. showing why he was the X factor, at least in my mind, for this game. He has been able to really take that versatility from not only the backfield, but then also moving out to the wide receiver spot and able to torch some defenders off the defense there. He's also been able to really find his way in the kick returning game as well, having a couple get past that 20, get close to the 20, and setting up his team for success. Doing it on all fronts out there is Marcelino Butler Jr., number 1 on the field. So now, at the 22-yard line, Axemen taking back control here, trying to get another score on the board with only 43 seconds to go in the second quarter before halftime. Murray, shotgun snap, has Skarmas with him. Still gonna get sacked, and the ball's out! Ball is on the ground! And it's gonna get picked up, recovered by the Axemen, so it's not a turnover. However, that's gonna back them up so much further than where they were. And their final timeout has been called as well, too. So with 32 seconds
Timeout,
to
Eau
go.
Claire. That is their third and final timeout of the half.
So with 32 seconds to go here in the second quarter, no more timeouts remaining. Axemen content where if they do not pick up a big gain on this one, more than likely they're going to be willing to just run this clock out and hopefully not have to deal with another Nebraska Siege onslaught on the offensive end. Talking it over there on the offense, you got offensive coordinator Hanson Silas right in the middle of that. And also right in front is Butler Jr. and Joshua Murray, who did not start the game as quarterback, however, moved over there after a few Ethan Sheaf inconsistencies on this starting role. So, in the backfield, Skarmas lined up right next to Joshua Murray. He's been acting as a lead blocker most of the night. Flag on the play, but Murray trying to get that ball loose. He's gonna get sacked, but he needs to hold on to it. Siege players saying it's their ball. They think they got it. But with that flag on the play, we'll see what happens. Joshua Murray got absolutely wrapped up and trapped in that backfield. Again, the Siege with a great defensive rush. Awaiting the call here. Axemen had some great movement on the start of this drive. However, in this last bit, got sacked so bad with a fumble on the play with Joshua Murray that backed him all the way past the 15.
Offensive offsides by the wide receiver. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, third down for Eau Claire at the 1-yard line. Timeout, Nebraska. That is their first timeout of the half.
As Nebraska takes their first time out of the half. That last play is gonna back them all the way up to the 1-yard line. So they started at close to the 20-yard line of the Nebraska Siege. They had gotten some big time first down plays, but then Joshua Murray, after trying to make something happen, got absolutely wrapped up by some big time players like Hampton for the Siege, who have been making play after play on this defensive end and on the offensive end as well. He was able to make a giant catch on the last one, on his last offensive possession. However, Hampton coming in there with a big time takedown and then almost had the strip fumble as well. So now on 3rd down and a mile and a half to go, the Axemen are gonna have to be careful not to turn this over in their own end zone or potentially take a sack in their own end zone, as that could be more points for the Siege, who already have a 10-point lead going into the end of the 2nd quarter. Murray, shotgun with Skarmas right next to him. Throws that one away. Has a man with a penalty down as well, too. That might be a holding as well as a catch, too. That's a great job by Eldridge Joyce to hold on to that while someone was holding on to him as well, too. So what could
Defensive pass interference, number 15. That'll be a spot foul, automatic 1st down.
So not only does that then give a 1st down to the Axemen, it's going to be a spot foul as well, too. So Joyce's catch will not count, but it will still be. So now they're. So yeah, they are going to keep it as a 1st down. That's going to be a spot foul, especially every single time that's a that's a pass interference, especially on the defensive end. It's always going to be right where the spot of the catch was, as well as an automatic 1st down. But a great job by Eldridge Joyce. And then a pushing and shoving there at the end, showing some of that physicality that we've been seeing all game long here. That's resulted in this being a 14-24 lead. Only 18 seconds to go before the end of this half. Axemen have another chance here now after getting backed up on what was a 3rd and almost 20, 30, 40 yards away after 2 fumbles and 2 sacks that had backed them all the way up. Joshua Murray now, shotgun, extra pass blocker as well. He's gonna fire that downfield. Butler Jr. almost had it off the ricochet. It was almost an interception, but also knocked off of the hands of number 15, Clarence Taylor, the defensive back out of LA Harbor Junior College. Could have had an interception there, played it a little bit too far up, had it ricochet off his hands and almost went into the hands of Marcelino Butler Jr. for what would have set them up close towards that 4-yard line on the opposite end of the field. This is some of the excitement you get here on Arena League football. You never know what's going to happen on this next play. Especially when traditional football, most teams would just kind of run this one out, but you can really throw this one far if you've got a good quarterback there, and they do with Joshua Murray. He's going to take this right up the field. He's got some room. He's got some space. He's right down the sideline. He's going to get close, if not near that 21-yard line. But it's going to run out of time, and we are not going to. Joshua Murray thought he had enough time to run out of bounds there, and it had already passed once he got it, so it was an untimed play at that one. But they're going to put 2 seconds of time back on the clock after they realized it ran off a little bit there. So there will be one more play more than likely, unless they throw this completely out of bounds right away. Murray in shotgun, no one back there with them. Everyone's out for this one. 2 wideouts to his left and right. Joshua Murray, he's got time. He's going to run up the field. He's got wide open space. Can he get in there? He pitched it, but it's going to be knocked free, and that's going to be the end of the half there. Murray thought he could bounce that one back. He had a man there for a second. That was Eldridge Joyce. Looking at him like, that's my fault. I didn't realize that was what was happening. But a great job by Murray to recognize where his teammate is. But that Siege team was able to really close down on that, and that's going to be how this half ends off for them. Nebraska Siege up 24-14 after a big play that set them up on offense and a closed down defense to really wrap this one up. So going into the half, 24-14 Nebraska Siege over the Eau Claire Axemen here at the Sonntag Center. We'll have more action for you on the Arena League.
What if you could talk directly to your favorite Arena League player? Welcome to VIP Ballers, a social media platform where you can get direct access to your favorite player, DM them, get training for your young athlete, mentorship, personalized videos, and exclusive content. All you need to do is head to VIPballers.com, sign up, and follow your favorite TAL player.
Garage beer saved my life. It's 30 years ago today.
A lot of predators in this jungle.
Almost done.
Let's go. Come on, man. Let's get it.
Welcome back to the Sonanteg Event Center here in Eau Claire, Wisconsin on the Arena League. Tonight, the Nebraska Siege has been playing the Eau Claire Axemen pretty well. 24-14, they have a 10-point lead going into this half. And they have been all over the field on defense as well as offense. Tonga Yates, who was our featured player of the half, or was the featured player of the game to start off, has been all over the field, not only throwing the football, but also just on the ground. He is one of the more versatile players out there, and it's why the Siege team is up as a 5-0 team, looking to be 6-0 after tonight, and the Axemen are trying to get back into this one to try and get that first win of the season, especially here at home. But he's gotten, Tonga Yates has gotten some help there on the side as well, with Brown coming in with 2 touchdowns. Big time plays from Vince Brown as well as some of the other players, especially Kendrick Davis, who had 3 for 64 and 3 touchdowns in that last game where they had won 47-44 over the Iowa Woo. However, this Eau Claire Axemen team has been a team that comes back from these kinds of deficits in the past. However, they have trouble closing them out. So there's something to expect there with the Axemen. They never give up with this one, especially with Joshua Murray now back there, and he has looked outstanding for a wide receiver coming in, not really expecting to play quarterback, and then being thrust into the role of quarterback. He has absolutely calmed himself down after the first throw and really found his way to make his versatility be known out there, not only through throwing in the air, but also being able to run around and find his teammates, for which he got 2 touchdowns to, has made it a 14-24 game, what could have been a 24-0 game. Who knows what would have happened, but he was able to really close that one down, especially with some of the defense trying to hold this Nebraska Siege to where they are. But they're gonna need some more of that in this next half, as right now, Axemen down 2 scores to this Nebraska Siege team, trying to come back into this one. We'll have more action for you right after halftime. Welcome back to more Arena League football here in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, as the Eau Claire Axemen, the home team, is down 14-24 to the Nebraska Siege. I'm Daniel Zonzan. This is some of the highlights of the night so far for both of these teams. The Axemen got off to a quicker start, but Nebraska Siege have been really following with some strong blows. And what started off with what seemed like a Brian Sheath type of night was not going to actually be what took place. Joshua Murray has stepped into the game as quarterback, but you know who hasn't? Tonga Yates. He's all around and he can make some moves happen, like that one right there where he was able to just dump that one off and get some small plays, and those were what's really been adding up for this Axemen team. Yates has been in dead to rights, especially a few times on a couple of sacks that should have gone down, but he's been able to dive outside of the pocket and be able to toss him up. He was the feature player of the game to start this one off, and he really has shown why he deserves that title and why he deserves that spot, especially getting it to that guy there. Brown has been the jump ball magnet of the night with that big frame. All he needs to do is go back and get a couple of tosses, but Perry there throwing that one to his guy, Joyce. He also is a big-time target that can really go up and get a couple of big grabs there as Hampton, who had a big-time play to get a solid chunk yardage situation, got rewarded on a touchdown. And then not only to say Marcelino Butler Jr., he is an X-factor, hasn't really gotten much that night to start off the night, but then really found himself back in, especially after he was able to get a kickoff return that really set up the team, then blew by his guy for a near 20-yard touchdown. And just also on top of that, but the coaching has been all outstanding for both of these teams tonight. Both of them really getting up close and personal as Tonga Yates showing why he's the magician that he is. But also on top of that, Elijah Gray has been a very versatile player out there for this team. Not only is he such a big guy out there, he's able to really take the top off the defense when he gets a little bit of extra yardage, because that one is another big-time pick. The Axemen have been really great at stopping those conversions tonight and have limited them to only 24 points, what could be more than 24, potentially 28, potentially 30. But those sacks have not really been able to be much of a driver for the Siege, as the Axemen have been able to kind of come back into this a little bit. But with only 5:40 here to go in this second quarter, and the Axemen on the march after this, this is still anyone's game, and the physicality is staying around for the rest of it. So better get ready with the popcorn buckets, because I expect some fun fireworks here tonight. We're back here at halftime at the Soninteg Center here on the Arena League with the Nebraska Siege currently leading the home team 24-14 over the Eau Claire Axemen. And taking a look around the league, we talked about them earlier, and especially as we're getting closer to the end of this season with only a few games remaining, Nebraska Siege up 5-0 on the rest of the league as they'll take on the St. Joseph's Goats tomorrow or next week, who are a 4-1 team, have really gotten themselves back into this after a quick start and then taking that one loss on the season. But tonight, Axemen, especially without Malik Gaillard, who is their #1 quarterback and one of the best playmakers that they have on the team here, without him in, it really didn't feel like much of a chance for the team, but really keeping it close here with Joshua Perry, who was able to really find his way and got himself a couple of passing touchdowns in the air. But you also are going against one of the league's best in Songa Yates, who is not only in the top 5 in passing yards, but is also in the top 5 in touchdowns as well, too. And that has been a head-to-head matchup that we've been all over tonight, as these two players are very versatile. Joshua Murray, I should say, has been able to really turn himself from a wide receiver into a quarterback with that versatility. And I mean, he's a speedster out there on the field and is one of the more consistent guys to be catching the football out there. So not only are you taking away a really present player that can really make a big play on the offense, but you're turning him into a quarterback, which is not something he's done almost at all this season, other than a few trick plays. And he's really been showing himself tonight that he's really been showing that he can be that guy as a backup quarterback. But with this one being a 24-14 lead, they're going to need some more from Joshua Murray if they're going to try and get back into this one, both on the ground and through the air. We'll have more Arena League action for you right after this.
What if you could talk directly to your favorite Arena League player? Welcome to VIP Ballers, a social media platform where you can get direct access to your favorite player, DM them, get training for your young athlete, mentorship, personalized videos, and exclusive content. All you need to do is head to VIPballers.com, sign up, and follow your favorite TAL player.
The neighbors just stopped by. Can you throw these on the grill?
Garage beef? Huh. 5 more minutes.
All beef hot dogs. Filled with beer.
Honey, where are the gosh dang dogs?
5 more minutes.
Garage beef from Garage Beer.
What'd you do to these dogs?
Almost done.
Come on, man. Let's get it.
It's not nearly as hot as the day it started. However, the heat has still continued to be blazing in this building between these two physical teams. Welcome back to the Arena League here with the Eau Claire Axemen taking on the Nebraska Siege in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. I'm Daniel Zons, and we're just about to start the third quarter with the Axemen down by 10 at home, trying to get their first win of the season, while the other squad, the Nebraska Siege, tries to make it a 6-0 start to their season as well. With playoffs upcoming, positioning is needed right now, and especially with their chance of potentially becoming a #1 seed, they're really trying to lock it down here. Axemen trying to get that first win. And what's been a tumultuous season, we've seen players in and out of the starting lineup, especially in the wide receivers. And now we're having a different starting quarterback start tonight, as Gaillard, who started off the season extremely well, is top 5 in passing yards. He's sitting at #4 right now, #6 in passing touchdowns. Is going to be out for the whole rest of tonight, as well as has been since the last game, I should say, with a knee injury. So tonight it's been the Joshua Murray show, and he's really been able to style out there for this Eau Claire Axemen team with 2 passing touchdowns in the air. However, it's a hard one to face off against a guy like Tonga Yates on the other squad, who's been starting at quarterback all season for them, as well as has a few receiving yards as well, almost 280 in the air. He has been all over the place, and this defensive line as well for this Nebraska Siege team has been another defining factor, starting off with the Axemen almost getting within striking distance to end off the half, I should say. Had it close towards the 20, but after 2 massive sacks by the Nebraska Siege, backed them up all the way inside their own 4-yard line and almost completely stalled out the rest of the offense to end off the half. So the Nebraska Siege are hoping their defense can continue up that pressure that they ended off the half with, and for the Axemen trying to still build up that momentum that they had lost off when they fallen backwards a couple of times for almost a loss of 20, if not 30, backwards towards their own 4-yard line. And the Axemen now are a squad that have been able to put it together with Marcelino Butler Jr., who I said was an X factor before the night. Marcelino Butler Jr. is one of those guys that can really be put anywhere on the field. He's a wideout, but can also play in the backfield as a running back, and then also can return kicks as well. He's been switching on and off the night with number 11, not Joseph Hampton, but number 11 on the Axemen, Bryant Smith, who hasn't really gotten any other touches elsewhere, but Marcelino Butler Jr., that just shows his importance to this offense, and not only his importance to the offense, but also how versatile he can be out there on the field. I mean, we have Joshua Murray, who's a wideout coming in as quarterback, and has been able to really make some stuff happen, not only with his passing ability, but especially with his running ability too. And for the Axemen, it's going to be about the defense. Their defense has not really been able to close down the Siege as they had started off the game. It was really tight. It was a close one with an 18-12 one to start off, an 8-12 lead to start off. But the Axemen have not been able to add any more to that to close the gap, especially after a tumultuous end of their half. So with this throw-off upcoming, we look around the league at some other what the other stats or what the other standings are looking like right now, with the Nebraska Siege up 5-0 on the rest of the Arena League. St. Joseph's Goats are sitting underneath them 4-1. That's going to be a match of a lifetime this next weekend, as those two teams will face up in what could potentially be for the top of the league. But then also going down the list, you see the Axemen sitting at the bottom right there, 0-5. But if they can get that one win on tonight, especially against such a powerful team such as the Siege, it will matter so much more to be able to get them out there and to get that win, especially here at home, especially for the first time this season. But the Axemen have given up a lot of points on that defensive end, and it's been somewhat of a story throughout much of the season. Despite their great stats, they've been allowing some big-time plays that have really opened up the defense for potential errors throughout the rest of the game, especially when they can get them inside the 5-yard line. It's really hard to stop anyone inside that 5-yard line, especially with teams like the Nebraska Siege out here. However, this last time they played them, they lost almost not 60 to 27, but 68 to 25 in what was a shootout. This one has also been a bit of a shootout here. However, we've seen a lot more rushing yards in this one than we did in the last one, that's for sure. But the Axemen have been doing a little bit better job of not turning over that football, and that was my key for the night. If they can really keep it safe and not give up the ball as much as they did in that last one. They gave up 4 turnovers in that last one to the Nebraska Siege, and were blanked on the other side of it as well. But Axemen, last game they played against a team, because we had that huge break for that 4th of July weekend. Hope everyone had a great weekend, by the way. They played the St. Joseph's Goats before then, losing 60-27. So just showing how much this defense has been given up. However, there's been tight games throughout this year. They really could have been 2-3 coming into this night with how close they've been. One given up by, I believe it was a point. The other one was between about 7. So it was right there for the taking for 2 of them, but they could not get themselves back into it. And especially right now with other teams such as the Memphis Hound Dogs taking on the Monroe Greenheads, and in Springfield, Missouri, Arkansas Diamonds are taking on the Ozark Lunkers. There's still some movement to be happening before the game, before everything's said and done and the playoffs are set. And as of right now, this Axemen team just trying to get themselves back into it after they started this one off relatively close. It was only a 4-point game to start this one off. But then slowly and slowly it started to unravel, and Nebraska Siege got 1 touchdown, got another touchdown, and they just could not answer. However, they answered it just 2 series before with about 2 minutes to go on the clock. And then when they had another chance to go, they, as I had said, got sacked twice, fumbled up the football. It was a bit of a miscommunication there, especially between the offensive linemen on who they were supposed to block, and you could just see down there the defensive line was just being able to find their way out there. And that man right there, Brown, he had 2 touchdowns already on the night on only about 5 grabs. So that's 2 for 5. That's 40% chance of grabbing a touchdown. And that big man has been able to just be used as the traditional tight end, if not like a dunker in a basketball league. They've had him post up in the back, and especially whenever Tonga Yates has trouble in that backfield and has to dive out of the pocket or dip out of the pocket, he's been able to find his guy for pop balls in the backfield, especially right back towards the back corners and in spots that you wouldn't really think that Yates can fit those throws into. He's been able to find it and get it to that man Brown. And with that on the season too, he's been doing an excellent job for this squad as sitting at tight end, coming straight out of Missouri University, coming out into the Arena League and choosing to be on the Nebraska Siege. And this squad, it has so many different players on it that can really make a difference. Hampton right there being shown. He was one of the better players out there on the field, especially returning the football. However, they also were able to get him for a wide open pass that got him inside of the 5 or 10 yard line. And then of course handed it off to him to let him get the reward for all the work that he did on that drive. But with that, the Axemen still only down 10 points can really claw their way back into if they can get 1 score. Just 1 score is needed, and it can really come back into it. This last one that they played against the Iowa Woo, their last home game against the Iowa Woo, they were down by 20 points at halftime, 20-2-0, and were able to then come back subsequently down the 3rd quarter and close that knot down. However, they also had Gaillard in the backfield for that one. This one, they have Joshua Murray, who's been more of a wideout for it. But he steps into it and has really been able to take up that responsibility. But with that, we'll have some more Arena League action for you right after this break. Welcome back here to the Arena League here at Eau Claire, Wisconsin at the Sonnentag Event Center. I'm Daniel Zonzan. We've got a close one here tonight. Axemen down 14-24 to the Nebraska Siege as we are about to kick off this second half. Axemen throwing it to the Siege. That one barely misses the top rafter, and he's going to be able to return that one. That's going to be Elijah Gray, I believe, on that sideline. He's going to get past that 25-yard line into Axemen territory, down close to the 20. They're going to say that's Dudley, actually. Big speed from Dudley as he took the top off the defense there on the kick return, and that's going to set up the Nebraska Siege in perfect field position for them to go forward and potentially get some more scores up for them. They're going to mark them back towards that 23-yard line. Still in Axemen territory, though. So, Tonga Yates, who had a great starting half, trying to follow it up with another second half here. Yates sends his guy in motion. Backfield, he's got pressure. He goes right, throws it across his body. He's got a man, but it bounces off the hands, and he's going to... That might be intercepted for now. It's been called an interception. Did it hit the ground, though? As there's some back and forth and some pushing and shoving there. And as I said to start off the end of the half, it's been heated all night long. That warm summer air has carried into the building, and even though it's AC cooled, the tensions are high, and it's burning up out there. Yates rolled around, and what looked like it was an incompletion got ricocheted and was intercepted and brought all the way back close towards that 20-yard line. An excellent job there, at least for now, by Cinque Grant. He's got a couple on the season. Gets his first of the game tonight. Talking it over with the refs right now is head coach for the Nebraska Siege, as we're going to get to this call on the field.
The ruling on the field was an interception. The previous play is under review.
So head coach Dominic Bramante had gone down there and was talking it over with the refs, and it's going to be challenged right now. I thought it had ricocheted off and gotten knocked down incomplete. However, it looks like it bounced off of that barrier and was caught. Cinque Grant potentially has an interception there, his first of the night, but we have to take a look at it over in replay, as that one was knocked around, and that was what the refs were seeing. And I guess the ruling now is going to be whether or not it hit anything else before hitting that out-of-bounds bumper, as that should still be a live ball and still should count as an interception if he maintained that same hold on it. Big time play from the defense for the Axemen. That's exactly what they needed after giving up a massive kick return that set up the Siege in a perfect spot. And just watching that, that's what they're looking at right there, just trying to see where that bounces off and if that at all makes any, if that at all hits the ground.
The ruling on the field of an interception is confirmed. First and 10, Eau Claire from the 16-yard line.
So because it ricocheted off that bumper and didn't touch anything else past, beyond, or near the ground, that confirmed is an interception, and that's going to be a first down and 10 for the Axemen. Massive play for the defense and Cinque Grant. So now, Murray, his first snap of the second half. Throws that one over the middle. He's got a man! Big time play. But waiting for him. Hopefully he's going to be able to get up. That's Brian Sandifer, and he's going to stay down for a second.
Injury timeout on the field. Injury timeout.
So we're going to take an injury timeout there. Brian Sandifer Jr., who's had himself a game as well, too. He's had a couple of big-time plays, big-time catches that have really resulted in, if not led up to, another touchdown. Just trying to make sure he's all right there on the field. But Axemen, as he gets up well, and that's great to see. He popped right back up after a couple of brushes off the body, and he's going to jog off the field. So he will not be in for this next play at the very least. But still a big play that sets him up for a 2nd down and short for the Axemen. Murray had a great throw on that, fit it right in between some defenders. He was able to then turn up field for a second, just needed a sec to get a breath. So now, Murray, send a man in motion. He's got time, he's got a man. That's gonna be incomplete. Way out of bounds. He was looking for Marcelino Butler Jr., was gonna have to really put that over the top of Taylor though, to be able to find him. Taylor's a big guy. That's someone that could really come away with an interception if you're not too careful, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and short though. So now Axemen. Skarmas in the backfield. He's been acting as the lead blocker, and also he's been getting some carries too. Murray, man in motion. He's going to take it right up the middle. He's got some room. He's got some space. He's going to turn it upfield. Past the 15, 10, touchdown. Touchdown, Joshua Murray. At least for now, referees conferring, making sure he was actually in between. And making sure, oh, there are the flags on the field. He did not stay in the right position. He ended up leaving those hash marks before he was actually, and that's what they're looking for right now, and that's what they're going to probably call.
Quarterback number 4. That is a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay 3rd down.
So that touchdown gets called back for a infraction. He passed the hash marks before he was actually out of the pocket. It's going to be a 10-yard penalty, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and long now. So what turned into a 3rd and short now backs them up to a 3rd and long after what looked like a massive touchdown play from Joshua Murray, who just took the top off the defense after his first rush through. Had himself down the sidelines, looked like a big time run, but just could not get that off, and he's so shifty out there. He's a wide receiver turned quarterback for tonight. So Murray, man in motions, Butler Jr. Murray steps back. He's trying to dance around. He steps up. He's going to try and run it back. He gets back to that hash mark. And he outstretched his hand, but he was down first, trying to reach for the 1st down. However, he was about 8 yards short. Still an excellent effort there by Joshua Murray, who had gotten some hands on him in the backfield to then run back towards the hash marks and then run it straight up. So the turnover goes unused, and now the Axemen are going to be back on defense as they give the ball back to the Siege instead of having to go for it there on 4th down and risking a potential Siege offensive stand from the 15. So Axemen with 12:28 here on the 3rd quarter, down 14-24, have the Siege coming at them on the offensive end. They got a turnover last time, and they are one of the more turnover-heavy defensive in the league. So now, Yates, fast ball, but that one's gonna get dropped for a sec. Wrapped up and brought down for a big loss. Miscommunication again there. This time on what seemed to be a handoff. Yates thought he was handing that one off and dropped it on the play was Dudley, who thought it was a fake. So already in this almost 2 turnovers already in the 2nd quarter, but we're gonna stay at 1 here as Yates was able to get a handle of that one. Yates, shotgun, steps back, got plenty of time, had a man for a second. That's gonna be incomplete. Kevin Davis, I should say. Leads the team in receiving yards, has been pretty quiet tonight though. On him for most of that night, has been Cinquay Grant, who had that interception earlier. Cinquay Grant again on that sideline, just all over Kevin Davis, or Harris. So now, shotgun snap. Yates has a man behind him, send him in motion. He's got plenty of time, he's gonna step up. Had a guy for a second, that's gonna be off of his hands, incomplete. Elijah Gray was right there, but so was Richie Murphy, and that's gonna be incomplete and bring up a 4th down try after a 3rd down and long.
Nebraska has elected to surrender.
And they're gonna give it right back to the Axemen.
15-yard line, 1st and 10 Eau Claire.
Who are gonna take back over as another 3 and out here. This one for the Siege. Unable to actually get anything going after being able to force the same of the Axemen. So another try here for Joshua Murray and the squad. Excellent job by the pass rushes, including Dorr out there on the defense, but then Richie Murphy with a big time play, big time pass breakup on 3rd down and long to force that 4th down. So now offense lines up Joshua Murray, empty set, looking, fires it over the middle, has a man, that's Skarmas. It's gonna turn upfield for maybe about a 5 or 6 yard gain, gets close to the 21 Axemen side of the field here. 2nd down. 10:22 to go in this 3rd quarter, and both teams have had a chance with the football, neither giving much neither giving much on offense here, as both have given the ball back to each other. So Joshua Murray, he's gonna go up the middle. He's got room! He goes up past the 10! Dropped the ball for a second, but he was already down. Big play. This time he stayed in between the hash marks. 1st down, Axemen. He can do it all. Perfect play. It was a designed run. He goes right up the middle, and it just completely parted open for him. Excellent job by the offensive lineman blocking down there on the field, but Joshua Murray had the awareness and had the ability to turn that up and speed it up. So now, with Skarmas next to him, he sends a man in motion. He's got pressure. He throws that jump ball. That's too far. Hits the back stanchion. It's going to be incomplete, way out of bounds. Sandifer is back in the game. That's the man he sent in motion. Sandifer Jr., he's also out of bounds there, just climbed back over. Had both him as well as Joyce in the vicinity too, but just too tall for both of them, and that's hard to do. That's 2 tall guys right there. So now it's gonna bring up 3rd down. And still within striking range, they're at the 10-yard line, trying to get a score here to cut this down to a 1-possession lead. So now, Murray, backfield, pressure. Oh, he had Joyce for a second, but Joyce fell over before he got close. It's gonna be an incompletion. Took his eyes off the prize for a second, tried running it upfield. It's gonna be incomplete, and this may be 4-down territory here, as they'll stay with it. Or 3rd down, I should say. Still have 1 more. So Murray, no one there to block with him. He's got Marcelino Butler Jr. ready to run as well. Sends 2 men in motion, steps up, tries to dive around, has a man! Big time play there by Joyce. Past the 5, down to the 3. So now this will bring up 4th down, and still not goal to go, so they could potentially get the 1st down if they get it to the 1-yard line. But as of right now, it's a 4th down attempt, and the Axemen within the 5-yard line trying to get something else on the board. 7:16 to left go here in this 3rd quarter. Murray gets snap, it's a low one. He's got time, he's got a man! Is that a touchdown? As of right now, it is. What a play to Marcelino Butler Jr. Touchdown. What a big time play there from Joshua Murray to Marcelino Butler Jr. and got him right on that far corner for a score. 20-24 now. That's exactly what this Axemen team needed on a 4th down. And I mean, that was so close. He just barely got himself in bounds for that. Someone left Butler Jr. wide open because that's not a guy you want to leave like that. So now, Murray trying to make it a little bit closer. Sends both Skarmas and Butler Jr. in motion. He's going to take up the middle. He's not over the line of scrimmage yet, but he had a man. Did he catch it? It got bobbled around, but it looks like he came down with it. Our mascot says yes, and now the ref says yes. For as of right now, that jump ball to Joyce is going to be a conversion, and that's going to make this even closer
The play is a
for the Axemen. 22-24 over with the Nebraska Siege still on top, but
previous play
a big-time play. Both made by Marcelino Butler Jr. and then Joyce right there, somehow barely hanging on inside. Came down with it. Ruled as a touchdown and then a complete conversion, and that's exactly what the Axemen needed to get back into this game. With only 6:27 to go here. Started off with a big-time run
after review
by the ever so versatile
Joshua
Joshua Murray. Started off this game as a wide receiver. Came in at quarterback after a few missed plays by Sheaf, and now has stayed as the quarterback, as his team is now down by 2 after starting off the half down by 10. So 6:27 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Nebraska up 24-22. Receiving this one, it's going to be Dudley in that backfield. He had a hard return that got him to the 20 of the Axemen before. That one was turned over. Let's see how he responds on this special teams attempt. Nice spiral, bounces, returnable inside that 5-yard line. Backing up is Dudley, who's gonna find some more space. He got him to the 20. He's gonna get more down towards the 22. The ball came out. As of right now, it's gonna stay though with the Siege, but Richie Murphy thought he had himself a defensive touchdown there. Very close to it at least. Ball must have came out there at the end, but as of right now, the refs are calling it as down. They're gonna have it close to the 21-yard line, and now the Nebraska Siege have a chance to come back into this and potentially put up another score if they can hold off this oncoming Axemen crew. So now, Tonga Yates. He's got a man to his right. Sends a guy in motion. He's got a big rush. Tangled up in the play there, that's gonna be incomplete. Falling all over each other, and that's gonna be a big time incompletion, but again, just trying to open up the defense with a big offensive play, and 2nd down and long instead. As we have an Axemen player down on the field in the stanchion, in this, next to the fans, and may have gotten injured on that one. Good to see him walk it off. As of right now, he's still good. That's Ray Watson out there. Haven't called his name much, but he's also a cover corner, so whenever you don't call their name, you know they're doing something right. He's gonna walk off the field here, and they're gonna have to replace him, unfortunately. Still good to see him get up off of his own power. He just could not stop his momentum before he hit that out of bounds barricade and flew over the top, and now he's gonna have to sit out for at least a play. So, Yates with a man to his right. Takes a snap. He's got a big blitz coming. Richie Murphy almost got to him. Jump ball, he got his man. That's Brown. Did he get in for a touchdown? He did. What a play. pass interference, at least right now. On which team, not sure, but it was a jump ball up there for Vince
the play was a
Brown.
touchdown. Defensive pass interference, number 21. That penalty is declined. Touchdown, Nebraska.
So it will stay as a touchdown for the Nebraska Siege. What a big time play by Vince Brown, the tight end out of Missouri University. Just a jump ball play. They've done it a few times, but this one was so covered up, and then he was getting held that whole time. Somehow was able to reach himself over the top and continue to keep the legs churning for a touchdown. His third touchdown of the night. He's had a massive game for himself. And now for the extra point here, Tonga Yates throws that one. It's going to be incomplete, but there's a flag on the play. I believe they're going to call this as an offsides on the defense.
Offsides, defense, number 7. Half the distance to the goal. Replay try.
Richie Murphy just a little too excited to get into that backfield. He's been blitzing on a few of these last tries, especially on the defense. Now blitzing again on special teams. He's just so quick to get back there. But now they're going to get this try even closer to the Nebraska Siege as Yates sends a man in motion. They're trying to go quick. Yates has a man there, knocked away, incomplete. That's Kentrell Pierce. Or Joshua Murray actually on the play there.
Offsides, defense, number 36. Half the distance to the goal, replay the try.
And a flag down on the field on the corner that I cannot see right now. But Joshua Murray was in on that one playing defensive back as well as quarterback. And by the way, he can play wide receiver too. Excellent job on him. Knocked that ball away, but it's going to be an offsides again on the Axemen, so another retry of this extra point attempt. Just a little bit closer this time. Yates takes the snap. He's got a rush coming. He's got to try and throw that away. Did he get his man? He did. Big play. Another jump ball again, except this one lands up in the hands, and there's still a fight going back and forth for it. Both these teams saying we're not giving up without a go. So as they get split up there, that's going to be a big time catch again. This one time Kevin Davis. He hasn't been that vocal in this game, despite him being the game leader in receptions, or the team leader in receptions and yards. But he was able to get that one right there. Johnny on the spot with that one. That one just looked like Yates just threw that into a crowd. Still somehow got his guy. That's Coach Dominic Ferrante trying to keep his
dead
guys
ball, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Penalties.
Eau Claire, number 4. That penalty will be assessed on the first play after the throw-in.
So that's going to be a penalty on number 4. I believe that's Josh Murray getting that one on the defense. Just a lot of talk and chatter back and forth here between both of these teams. Both of them knowing how important this game is for both of their seasons. And both of them trying to get this next step here with 4:58 in the third quarter. Now with the Siege up 32-22 on the Eau Claire Axemen. Just what a big time play by that offense for the Siege. But that Eau Claire Axemen defense has been still trying to keep up. Just giving up too many big plays on that end. And too many penalties. So now as we line up for the throw off, back to return this one as they've been trading off all game long. It's gonna be number 11, Bryant Smith, waiting patiently to return it. And then starting on the far corner, which is also a strategic thing that players can do as well too. You don't necessarily need to stand directly in the middle. You can kind of choose where you want to throw this from, as long as you aren't committing a violation in the process. So, throwing that one is gonna be Songa Yates, the quarterback, trying to pin them back deep or set them up for disaster. That's gonna be returnable. He's gonna spin that one close towards the 12. maybe down to the 13. Bryant Smith getting another kick return on this one, but Tonga Yates says, no, we're gonna make sure you get pinned back there, and especially with it being a 32-22 lead, the further you can pin them back, the better.
The unsportsmanlike penalty will be assessed half the distance to the goal from the 14 to the 7. First and 10, Eau Claire.
And then on top of that penalty that they suffered in the extra point attempt, they're gonna have to be backed up even further. So what was at close to the 13, maybe 14-yard line is now gonna be around the 6, maybe 7-yard line. Joshua Murray in the backfield, he also got penalized for that, talking to his guys, specifically Skarmas, who's been a blocker for the most part of the night, trying to set up everyone. This is a new team for him, as well as being a part of what normally is the wide receiver crew, and is now part of the quarterback crew. That one's a little bit of a duck of a throw, as that one's gonna be able to be caught. Somehow Marcelino Butler Jr. held on to that even with his helmet getting taken off. Big time catch by Marcelino Butler Jr. And if it stands, that's gonna be close to a first down, but there might be more with the penalty at the end here. Joshua Murray just sets his feet and throws a bullet to Marcelino Butler Jr. And that's another thing that's marred these teams tonight, has been the penalties, both squads.
Personal foul, face mask, number 9. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, first down.
Well, that's a pretty easy way to take off a helmet there. Face mask on the Nebraska Siege. That's why Marcelino Butler Jr.'s helmet was laying right on the ground right next to him. So instead, Joshua Murray and the squad are gonna get marched all the way up past the 25. And that's gonna bring them close to the 20-yard line, if not the 20-yard line. Big time play and a big time penalty that's gonna set them up right in the Nebraska Siege territory. So Joshua Murray, shotgun snap. He's got one man going. He got a dribbler to him. He's trying to step up. He threw that one. Did he get over the line? No. Had Skarmas for a second, almost a one-handed catch, but Skarmas could not bring that one down. It's gonna flutter to the ground. It's gonna be incomplete. It's gonna bring up second down after that big-time penalty that set them up close to the 19-yard line in Nebraska Siege territory. Joshua Murray's just been running for his life out there. When he actually can get some time to throw this thing, he's been really accurate so far. So Murray, he's got Skarmas to the right of him to help block. He's got a man set in motion. That's gonna be Joyce. And he's gonna take off up the middle. He's gonna get a couple more yards. Another helmet has flown off the body there, this time on the defense. So now it's gonna give him a little bit more wiggle room, make it more third and manageable for this Eau Claire Axemen squad with 3:28 to go here in the third quarter. And unfortunately, that's gonna mean that Jason Serta of the Nebraska Siege, because he had his helmet taken off, is gonna have to go sit out for a play. That is just general protocol, not anything injury-wise. Joshua Murray trying to command his defense out there, trying to get everyone set. Murray throws that one. He's looking for Butler Jr. Did he get him? No, but there's a flag on the play. There's a flag on the play. It might be on Perry, or Kentrell Pierce, I should say. As of right now, it's just an incomplete ball, but that one's looking like a big-time penalty again.
Number 4, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
So it'll be an automatic first down, pass interference there, and that's gonna set them up inside the 5 again. Another spot foul penalty. And so the Axemen now have been able to get 2 big penalties that have pushed them further than where they were before, and now Nebraska Siege trying to cool some tensions here and trying to calm the squad down. And it's been a bit messy for this defense that ended the half off right as Joshua Murray gets it in there. Did he get the touchdown? He did. Design run. He just kind of almost snuck into the end zone there. Touchdown, Axemen. Another one on the board for them. That's gonna cut this thing down to a 4-point lead with only 3 minutes to go here in this third quarter. Murray faked like he was going to try and throw that one, and instead just snuck right into the end zone. Touchdown, Joshua Murray. That's going to be his third of the night, and that's actually his first rushing touchdown of the game, which is surprising the way he's been able to run and make some magic happen here on the ground. So now, again, tight game, 28-32 with an extra attempt or an extra point incoming here. Joshua Murray, he's gonna get almost sacked on that one. He's able to throw that one up for his guy. He had him. Cannot get past though. He's gonna get dropped at about the 5, and there's some pushing and shoving. That's Joyce again, another jump ball. This time he comes down with it. Eldridge Joyce. But he could not get himself into the end zone there, so the extra point attempt will be no good. It's gonna stay at a 4-point lead with only 2:24 to go in this third quarter. And the offense for the Axemen strike again, thanks to some help from some penalties that set them up along the way. Just some messy defense from the Nebraska Siege. Not exactly what we've been expecting from them, especially with how well they've played for most of this night, especially on the defensive end. They've been able to make some turnovers happen, and especially get some sacks that have really pushed the Axemen back. I mean, that's how they ended off the second quarter, was they had sacked Joshua Murray all the way back from the 20-yard line of the Nebraska Siege all the way to the Axemen 4-yard line. Huge loss, but it didn't matter here at the end, as the Axemen were able to push this one forward, and thanks to those penalties, got another touchdown on the board and has cut this lead down to a 4-point-1. Now for the throw off. They're actually gonna have Bryant Smith throw this one off, his first time of the night. On the other end, it's gonna be Dudley again returning this one. He's very versatile. He was able to get this one past the 20 before after getting stopped nearly at the 10. He's gonna be able to return this one too at the 6. Pulls it upfield. He's close to the 10. Richie Murphy had him for a second, but he broke free. Down to the 22. Big time move by Dudley after nearly getting stopped at the 12-yard line by Richie Murphy. Was able to break free. Arm tackles don't work on Dudley. He can go right through them, or he can go right around them. 2:12 to go here. Nebraska Siege on the march at around the 22-yard line, and Tonga Yates hasn't been able to get much going for his offense here. He was able to score in the last drive, but as soon as they scored, the Axemen have been scoring, so the answers have been nonstop. Yates under pressure. Richie Murphy has him for a second. He's gonna go down even further back. Timber, Axemen, another sack. Dorr cleaned that one up. Richie Murphy on the blitz just came off like an absolute rocket. Got all the way back there, almost wrapped him up, but then Dorr came in to finish it off. So a massive sack backing up the Siege all the way to the 5-yard line. And that's gonna be a second down and extremely long. Yates fires it, has a man open, but taken down immediately. That'll get them close back to the line of scrimmage, but still will be 5 yards off. It's gonna be third down at about 15. Big time plays, just those small ones that are needed to really chip into it. You don't need to get all of that first down, all of that yardage back there, but that's gonna really help you, especially when they were at the 5-yard line. So now Yates, the man to his left, it's gonna be great. He's gonna send Dudley in motion as well here too. Takes the snap shotgun, he's got pressure again. Dorr's trying to get him. Fires that one deep, he's got a man for a second, it's Brown again! Touchdown, Siege. 4 touchdowns on the night for Brown. Another great catch on what looked like it was gonna be knocked out of bounds, incomplete. Vince Brown though, right there. He's been the target of the night. He's been too big to stop. Huge catch right over the top of the defense for a touchdown. No flags. So now that'll make it a 38-28 lead here with 28 seconds to go in the third quarter. And I'm telling you, that Yates to Brown connection has been automatic. Yates, shotgun snap, extra point attempt. That's gonna get knocked up in the air. Picked off. It didn't come down right away, so it's gonna be picked off technically by Cinque Grant. However, that did not result in much of a return, so it will stay a 28-38 lead with only 9 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Extra point attempt is no good. However, because the ball stayed up on that barrier, at least for now, it's gonna stay as an interception, but in all, that's not gonna matter much except for when it comes down to the stats. So it does not actually hit anything. Oh, there it goes. It hit the back wall, so that should be an incomplete ball. From the angle, at least from this end, it looked like the ball had hit that barrier, had bounced up in the air and had stayed on the barrier, almost defying gravity. However, it did not defy gravity. Hit the back wall and bounced up, so it's gonna be an incomplete ball. 9 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Throw off incoming. And currently a little bit of confusion on which side is supposed to line up, but coaches talking to each other over there. Got MJ Johnson on the far left with Jim Britton on the far left as they're talking to, having the assistant coaches also talk to some of the players as well too. So now that they have the lineup set up right, Bryant Smith will be back and ready to return this one. Throwing this one off is going to be Tonga Yates again. It worked well last time, might as well do it again. So here we go. Siege to throw this one off. Absolute dart. That's going to be backed up, and that's going to be returnable. And he's got space if he can keep going. Gets him to the 16. He had a little bit of room, but it closed up very quickly.
That is the end of the third quarter.
Ryan Smith on that return there. And the Siege stays up 38-28 on the Eau Claire Axemen here at the Sonanteg Events Center. We'll be back with more Arena League action here after the break. Welcome back to the Sonanteg Events Center here in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. We got an Arena League football game, but first, take a look at another sport. We got some bowling down in the field. for this one. Fortunately, just wrapping up here as we're about to start this fourth quarter. Axemen down 38-28 to the Nebraska Siege, who have come here and have just dominated on the offensive end. The Axemen have been able to crawl back into it, fighting tooth and nail, getting it within 2 points at one point, but quickly have the Nebraska Siege been able to answer with every answer that the Axemen have. Nebraska Siege have been able to fight back into it and get a score every single time. However, now, Axemen have a chance to start off this fourth quarter with a solid defensive stance, especially the way that they started off the third quarter was with a solid defensive stance. Can they come back into this and close this gap even further? First, it's going to start with an offense here led by Joshua Murray. So Axemen take the snap. Murray charges up the field. He broke through a few tackles, and there's a penalty there on the play. Gain of maybe 3 or 4 yards.
Person foul, face mask, defense, number 22, 15-yard penalty, first down.
So that's going to be a face mask, and that is going to add to that run total. Automatic first down on a 15-yard penalty there. So starting off this with another penalty on the Nebraska Siege defense, just some messy defense to coming into the third quarter and then now into the fourth quarter, just could not keep his hands out of the face mask, and now they're going to have it at the 15-yard line of the Siege in their territory. Axemen on the march, what was just a 4-yard gain, turned into 15. So now Joshua Murray, man in motion's Butler. Murray has a little bit of time. That closes quickly, throws that one away. Got his man for a sec, that's Joyce. Joyce is down, but also we have another player down. That's Thaddeus Tolliver, the center, and he needs a break. So as they tend to them out there, Tolliver just could not stay up. So now Axemen are gonna wrap this up, talk about it, trying to keep cool heads as well too. They believe there's a little malfeasance there. I don't know if that was the case, but just keeping each other away from each other as they both go to their respective sides of the field. Medical trainer checking on Tolliver. For the Axemen, what led before this in that third quarter, before starting off with an offensive penalty in this fourth quarter here, as they got Tolliver up and he's able to get a little bit of help up off the field. However, it's good to see he's able to stand on his own power after what looked like a knee injury. So he's up and able to walk off the field. Good to see. And has a few words for the other sideline as well too. Just showing the physicality and how much this game means to both of these two teams, the tenacity out there. So just some ripping and shoving between the two squads, just fighting between them. Murray, in what was only going to be a little bit of a maybe throw off to the far side, gained about 5 yards there, and then fortunately lost the center, at least for right now. So replacing him, I believe, is going to be number 89. That's Akeem Peterson. He's more of their tight end and also a linebacker as well too, and he's going to be taking place as center. Might be down an offensive lineman, but they're going to keep it. Oh, now they have to the other side there. Playing some players out of position here are the Axemen. So still on the march, missing a couple of players. Joshua Murray back in his 15, takes the snap, has a man in the backfield, throws out, got his man. That's going to be Bryant, hops over the top, got at least a first down, maybe a little bit more, but that's going to be inside the 5-yard line. Axemen closing in on that touchdown. Big time play to find his man Carter Bryant, or Bryant Smith, I should say. Just a little kind of play action toss out, finds him wide open, and he's been mainly just a special teamer tonight, but finally getting some action on the offense is Smith. First down here and goal to go. They've struggled a little bit with this season. Murray steps back, fires it, that's picked off! Sitting right in the middle of the field was Elijah Gray, and he's returning that one. He's still on his feet. He's still moving down past the 10. What a big time play by Elijah Gray. Murray just didn't see him sitting over the middle of the field. He tried throwing that back across his body, and Gray was just sitting right there like a center fielder. Read Murray's eyes perfectly, and Gray just took off with that, and from the 4-yard line almost all the way to the other side of the field at the 10-yard line. An excellent job returning it by Gray, but an even better job to sit there and catch that football, getting another interception. Elijah Gray's first of the game. He's gotten a touchdown on the night, but hasn't gotten an interception yet. Playing two ways out there. So now, Tonga Yates and his squad. He's got Hampton out right of him. He's gonna go in motion behind him. He's gonna take the handoff. He's gonna cut right. He's gonna get back into the center field. He's gonna get in for a touchdown. Great move by Hampton, getting his second rushing touchdown of the game. Joseph Hampton, running back from Savannah State. Savannah State, I should say. Savannah State. And he's gonna get in for a close to 10-yard touchdown. I mean, this back cut right here just made a man miss. And you gotta have more urgency when it comes to trying to tackle a guy like that, because Hampton will just run right by you if you miss on that tackle. So Yates sends Hampton in motion. He's got a little bit of pressure. He's gonna throw it across his body. It's gonna be picked off. Cinque Grant. And there's a flag on the play there at the end. So as of right now, it stands as 44-28, but with that penalty, we'll see what happens. Should still be an incomplete conversion here, but maybe a little extracurricular is going to add a few more yards or take away a few more yards.
The result of the play was the try was not good. Following the play, dead ball, personal foul, Nebraska, number 66. That penalty be assessed on the first play following the throw-in.
So that's going to be another penalty on the Nebraska Siege, this time on an off-ball penalty after the play had already finished. So Cinque Grant got that interception. Conversion's no good. Stands at 28-44. Nebraska Siege on top of the Axemen with 12:53 to go on the clock here in this fourth quarter. Still only a 2-score lead, 16-point game. If the Axemen can get a touchdown and an extra point, cuts the lead in half and only becomes a one-player lead, or one-score lead, as they try to get another personnel member out there on the field for their side crew. So, Axemen to throw off here. Marcelino Butler Jr. to return this throw off as the Nebraska Siege are ready to throw this one with Yates. Yates. The missile bounces at the 5, and that's going to go out of bounds. So that's going to set them up.
The throw-in went out of bounds. Result of the play, after it hit the ground and went out of bounds, touchback, ball will be placed at the 5-yard line.
So it'll stand as a touchback. It'll be at the 5-yard line then. That's bounced in bounds and then went out of bounds.
The unnecessary roughness foul prior to the throw-in is being assessed here on this play. 1st and 10, Eau Claire.
So with the added-on penalty from that previous penalty that the Siege had suffered in that extra point conversion, it's going to bump them all the way to the 20, which is where they'll start in this next drive. Axemen, a few bodies all over the place. Tolliver's back in out there, number 94, who had to leave the game due to an injury. Thaddeus Tolliver, good to see him back out there, one of the strong lines of this offensive line. Murray, ball hit the ground, but he's gonna fire that one. He's got a man, that's Butler Jr., and he could not bring that one down. That was set up pretty well for Butler Jr. It's gonna be incomplete. It's going to be incomplete. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 10. Butler Jr. had a chance there to really make something happen, but could not bring it up. So now it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10. But with that added on penalty, it's no longer at the 5, it's at the 20. So, Axemen, Joshua Murray, empty in the backfield, shotgun. 2-man to his right, 1 to his left. Takes the snap. That one's going to dribble. He's going to try and find that one. He's got to toss that one up. Just had to get that one away. I mean, the ball had already hit the ground, and he had to try and scoop it. That one, unlike the other ones that had bounced on the ground, had just stayed flat, so he had to try and find something to happen with that. And, of course, his helmet had come off, so
Number
he does
4's
have to
helmet
sit
came
out.
out during the play, must leave for 1 play.
So Joshua Murray will have to sit out with that one with his helmet coming off there, but that ball barely dribbled up to him, kind of just stopped on the ground and kept barely moving forward. Lucky just to be able to get that one away. It's going to be an incomplete pass now. And instead is Sheaf that's going to be returning. He started off the game as quarterback, Ethan Sheaf. See what he can do out here. Shotgun snap, fires that one. He's got his man. That's going to be Marcelino Butler Jr., who's going to be able to spin free. He's still going, still moving his legs. The pile's still getting pushed past the 1st down. And more, he's still going. And a flag at the end, but the bodies were still moving. The pile was still churning ahead. Butler Jr.'s helmet came off at the end too, so he'll have to sit out for a play unless the penalty's tied to that. But what a throw by Ethan Sheaf, and then an absolute return by Marcelino Butler
Personal
Jr.
foul, defense, number 18, face mask. That penalty will be assessed half the distance to the goal. 1st down, Eau Claire.
So because of that penalty, Marcelino Butler Jr. should still be in the game. Excellent job, and on top of that, a 15-yard penalty because of that face mask. So that's going to set up the Axemen at around the 8-yard line. With that added, not only with that catch, that moved with Butler Jr. pushing the entire pile, and then this penalty that happened afterward. So 1st and goal from the 8. Sheaf stays in. The ball hit the ground. Sheaf has to just dive on it. So it's going to go down. That's going to be a loss of a few yards there, but that ball rolled up to him, and the snaps have not been getting all the way there. Another roller, and that one's going to bring up 2nd down and goal, and this one's backed up past the 10, close to the 11. So about a 3-yard loss on that play. Just, again, that ball, after some great snaps in the 2nd and 3rd quarter, 4th quarter has been marred by a few big-time plays. There's Marcelino Butler Jr. almost has a big-time catch, but gets knocked it free by that secondary of the Nebraska Siege. Incomplete ball. Sheaf had his man for a second there, and they're going to actually keep him in at quarterback, I believe. They've got Murray back out there on the field, but he's going to be in the backfield with Sheaf, actually. Either one of these guys can play quarterback, and they're doing a little bit of trickery here. A 3rd down and goal to go on the way. Sheaf takes the snap. He's got Murray in front of him. Sheaf fires that one. That's going way too far. That hit the County Materials Corporation sign. So no good on that one, not even close. It's going to bring up 4th down and goal to go still. Sheaf just couldn't bring his arm down fast enough on that one. It's going to be incomplete. Had some good time on that, had a man for a second, was looking like he was going to throw a jump ball to Butler Jr., but did not get him there, and a lucky fan gets to go home with another ball. That one bounced to him. Axemen down by 16 here, can get a score here, but that's going to be to Joshua Murray from Sheaf, and that's not going to get close enough. So he's going to go down to the 5, and that should be a turnover on downs. 8:49 and counting in this 4th quarter. Turnover on downs, and
turnover on downs,
Axemen
1st
are
and 10,
back on defense.
Nebraska.
after what was a really great start to their drive. Had a penalty. Butler Jr. got a ball and turned himself upfield, and then got a penalty on him as well that pushed them to the 5-yard line, but they didn't get any closer after that. Nebraska's siege holds strong as they fortify that defense. So now, Eau Claire Axemen trying to hold off this Nebraska offense that has been so potent. They've been close sometimes, but 2 steps forward, 1 step back here as Yates. Penalty, and that should be on the Axemen if it wasn't snapped in time.
Offsides, defense, number 7, 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Offsides on Richie Murphy. Again, he's been rushing a few times, and he's been getting to the quarterback. Just a little too excited on that one, coming up and just try to time that snap. 44-28. Axemen still down by 16 here. 8:25 to go. Nebraska 5-0 squad trying to make it 6-0. Yates takes the snap, handoff up the middle. Got stuffed immediately, may have lost a yard. Excellent job by the defensive line. Looked like Lanier up there getting his hands on it. Loss of 1, it's gonna bring up 2nd down. $7:49 to go in this 4th quarter. Takes the snap. Fires that one. He's got a man deep. That's going to be Dudley. Cinque Grant in coverage, but there's a penalty on the flag. And it looks like it could be a pass interference territory.
Defensive pass interference, number 5. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
They tried getting Dudley free on that one, had him for a second. Looked like Cinque Grant was guarding him very well, but just got too handsy on the play there, and you can see the tug of the jersey. That's something they're gonna call every time, especially when there's no one out there to cover that. Grant, who's got a couple of picks, mainly on the conversions. Both on the conversions, were unable to stop Dudley on that one. So now Axemen's gonna be a first down around the 20. Still in siege territory. Yates throws that too high, incomplete. Out of bounds. Coverage of Ray Watson on that far left side. Just some quick passes. Yates has not had as much time as he did in the first half, so he's been having to throw these almost as soon as he gets them. Axemen pressure has been getting right in his face. They've been sending almost 4 every single time, switching up coverages as well too. Yates looks it, fires it. He's got Dudley in the backfield. Dudley breaks free for a second. He's gonna turn that upfield. Does not get much more other than a 4-yard gain. Somehow got himself out of that backfield jam. Had it right next to that 20-yard line marker. Looked like he was gonna get shoved out of bounds, but was somehow able to turn around, turn upfield, and gain 5 yards. Some very hard-fought 5 yards there, with now being 3rd down, 5 to go. 6:44 and counting on the clock here in this 4th quarter. Yates, man in motion, looking, fires to his man. That's gonna be a big catch. Kevin Davis somehow getting that grab after what looked like it was gonna be knocked incomplete. It's gonna bring a 4th down here in Axemen territory. 4th down and very short here. Yates tossing that one, having to survive the impact of Cinque Grant, and Cinque Grant can hit hard. They hit him hard on that one, but Davis withstood that contact, was able to hold on to that throughout. Bring up 4th down and short. Axemen looking to try and get a stop here. Yates stopped in the backfield. He didn't get past it. He didn't even get past the line of scrimmage. He got held up and brought down. The defensive line did their job, and Dorr again on a play. called his name so much tonight, has called it so much this season. He's got 4 sacks already on the year, or 3 sacks already on the year. Had another tonight, and that time had a big time stop on 4th down. Turnover on downs. Axemen are going to take over around the 23-yard line, not the 22-yard line. And instead of having Joshua Murray out there, they're going to have Ethan Sheath line up again. Joshua Murray's on that far left side. Got Marcelino Butler Jr. lined up back towards the 15, now in motion. Fires that one deep. He's got Murray. Incomplete. An excellent job there again. This time by Davis, Kevin Davis, doubling up defense and offense. Makes a big play to get his hand in there. Could have been a touchdown, but knocked away by Kevin Davis. Just an excellent job. Almost put that right in the breadbasket of Murray, but Davis had other ideas. So now Sheath, probably his best, one of his best throws. Could have really gone for something. Ethan Sheath now, backfield, looks up, tries to get some more yards on that one, stayed in between the hash marks, and he's gonna get a few yards, maybe close to 6, 4:52 and counting. Still all 3 timeouts for both teams. Only a 16-point lead here, 2 scores. 1 score is all they need to really get themselves back into this game, and there's plenty of time left to go. So now Sheath, shotgun, no one's back there with him. He's got 3. Fires that one a bit behind. Looked like he was looking both for Butler Jr. or in the vicinity of Joyce, who's had a touchdown here tonight. Just went behind his guy, and it's going to be landing incomplete, bringing up 4th down and about 5 to go here. Still on Nebraska territory, so Axemen could potentially see them try and go for something deep here and try and play prevent as Ethan Sheath tries to get out of the pocket. That's going to land harmlessly on the ground close towards the 6 or 7 yard line. Incomplete. So turnover on downs. Sheath had a few good throws on that one. Looked like they were getting somewhere. But another turnover on downs here for the Axemen, and giving this one right back to the Siege with 3:41 to go in the 4th quarter. Siege just showing exactly what they are as a team. They're 5-0 for a reason. They play with that intensity, both on the offensive side and on the defensive side, and right there just showed what they can do. They close down when it matters, and that felt like a turning point. If the Axemen could pick up that 1st down, potentially get a score off of that, can really switch the balance of this game, as this team has come back before on larger deficits. Yates trying to close this game out now, has Gray in the backfield with him, set to block. Yates fires that one, has his man Brown, can't get him. That's going to be out of bounds, incomplete. He's connected with Brown a few times, and especially 4 times on touchdowns tonight. Has been his most volatile receiver out there on the field. But could not come up with that one. That one a little bit too long for him. And that's saying something. He's a big, tall guy. One of the jump ball receivers they have on this team, where you can just throw it up in the back of the end zone and hope Brown is coming down with it. Handoff there to Gray from the shotgun. It's going to gain them about a couple of yards there, close towards that 25-yard line. Still in Siege territory as of right now. However, they're borderline. Now they're going to give him an extra yard there, but not much more. So it's going to bring a 3rd down and long, 2:31 to go. They're Siege trying to run out this clock as much as possible. Still all 3 timeouts for both squads. Yates lined up shotgun. He's got 1 man in motion. That's Dudley. Big time pressure. He's got Dudley. Could not come up with it. Did he come up with it? Wait, he did. Big time catch for a touchdown. That's Dudley. What a grab.
He's out to the play as a touchdown.
That was phenomenal. I mean, that was in and out of his hands for a second while he was diving to the ground. Just an excellent job. Somehow got that one arm out, reached up, grabbed it, tapped it to himself, and was able to reel it in for a touchdown off the ricochet. So that's gonna make it a 50-28 lead here in the fourth quarter, 2:04 remaining on this clock. And that's gonna be a big step in the right direction for the Siege to come away with their 6th victory of the year. Extra point upcoming. Yates, he's got a little bit of pressure. Dances out, looks, fires that one, incomplete. In and out of the hands of his intended receiver.
This is a 2-minute warning.
Flutters harmlessly to the ground, and that's going to stay at 50-28. Nebraska Siege over the Eau Claire Axemen with 1:51 to go on the fourth quarter. Big time catch by Dudley to end off this second. Now with a 2-minute warning remaining, the Siege lead 50 to the Axemen's 28 here on the Arena League.
What if you could talk directly to your favorite Arena League player? Welcome to VIP Ballers, a social media platform where you can get direct access to your favorite player, DM them, get training for your young athlete, mentorship, personalized videos, and exclusive content. All you need to do is head to VIPballers.com, sign up, and follow your favorite talent player.
The neighbors just stopped by. Can you throw these on the grill?
Garage beef? Huh. 5 more minutes.
All beef hot dogs. Filled with beer.
Honey, where are the gosh dang dogs?
5 more minutes.
Garage beef from Garage Beer.
What'd you do to these dogs?
Almost done.
Come on, man. Let's get it.
Axemen and Siege awaiting the throw off after a massive touchdown play by Dudley. How he was able to get his hand on that, I have no idea. Somehow grabbed that in with his one mitt and pulled it in with the other, resulted in a touchdown, now leading 50-28 over the Axemen. As Butler thought that had bounced before the 10, however, it did not bounce before the 10, so that got bounced backwards and is gonna be a safety. It's not a touchback if it rolls back into the end zone. That stands as a safety, at least for now. So the Siege are gonna have a 52-28 lead then, if this stands. Butler Jr. was pointing to the ground, said he thought it was gonna land right before the 10, which would then be a penalty on the Siege. However, it continued to keep rolling back and back and back and got to the end zone, resulted in Butler Jr. trying to run out of there and find something, but he could not get out of there as it bounced all the way to the end and hit that back banner. So, awaiting on the official call here from the referees whether this was a safety or not.
Result of the play, is the receiver picked up the ball, took a couple steps, and was tackled in the end zone, resulting in a safety. 2 points, Nebraska.
So it stands then as a safety as he had tried to pick up the ball and try to run out with it. In the Arena League, that does not count. You have to be able to return most of these, and especially if it lands within that 10-yard line, which it was, inside that 10-yard line, you have to try and return it. But because it landed, Butler Jr. thought it was going to land out right in front of that 10-yard line, pointed to it, thought it was going to land there, did not. So the Axemen now are going to have to throw this one off after giving up 2 points on a safety. Not the way you wanted one of your potential final drives to go here with 1:41 to go in this fourth quarter and a 24-point lead with the Siege marring them right now. Just another one of the miscues that have affected this Eau Claire Axemen squad tonight against the Nebraska Siege. And Nebraska has been able to capitalize on almost every step of the way, despite their own miscues and penalties as well, too. It's about how you capitalize on them, and Axemen have not been able to. So this throw-off is going to be returnable here. That's Dudley. He's going to catch it as 10. He's going to bring it up past the 15, close to the 20, maybe down to the 21, before he's finally brought down by the rest of the green crew out there. So with 1:33 to go here, and the Nebraska Siege with the ball, more than likely this will be one of the final drives, unless the Axemen can get enough stops, can get enough timeouts called off in time to be able to pull themselves back into it. But all in all, just an excellent job all around by this Nebraska Siege team, who are hoping to walk out of this one with a 6-0 lead and a potential #1 spot if they can beat the St. Joseph's Goats tomorrow, or next week. So now, Yates setting up, sends his man in motion, takes the snap, handoff right there. It's gonna be run up past that 20-yard line, maybe close to the 21, back right where they started. Be a Joseph Hampton, who had himself a touchdown earlier in this game as well. More of a special teamer. He comes in for some running packages as well as some speedster packages as well. He can take the top off the defense if you give him enough room. 1:07 to go here in this game. Fourth quarter here in the Sonanteg Center. It's Nebraska Siege leading 52-28 over the Eau Claire Axemen. So, Yates hands this one off. That's gonna be Hampton bringing that one up. He's got a first down and some more. Big time gain. Just barely past that 20 of the Axemen, and with 37 seconds to go here, no timeouts getting called. Both the Axemen are seemingly waving the white flag, and the Nebraska Siege are gonna come out on top of this one, getting their 6th win of the season after a 5-0 start, including another win against the Axemen earlier on in the season. Just an excellent job all around, both on the offensive side and on the defensive side. Axemen had a chance to come back into this with a potential score there, marching past that 20, but could not get anything further than that as they got inside the 5 and turned it over on downs twice. Had multiple quarterbacks in for this Eau Claire squad as well, but still were able to put up 28 to the Nebraska Siege's 52. Just an excellent job all around by this Nebraska Siege team. Not even to mention Tonga Yates, who just was so versatile out there today. And that defensive line, which caused 2 big sacks at the end of the second quarter to give them momentum going into the third quarter. So the final score here at the Sonanteg Events Center here on the Arena League, Nebraska Siege 52, Eau Claire Axemen 28. We'll be back. It's another Arena League football night tonight with your Nebraska Siege winning 52-28 over the Eau Claire Axemen here at the Sonntag Event Center. I'm Daniel Zons, and this was one of the better games that had started off for this Eau Claire Axemen squad. They had kept it close in the first quarter, made it a 12-8 lead, or 12-8 game, but never really led in this game, was always playing catch up, and eventually in that fourth quarter, after what was a back and forth showing between both of the squads, the Nebraska Siege really took the top off of the defense and were able to really get back into it and take their own stand. And they really did well with Tonga Yates, who is one of the better quarterbacks here in this Arena League team. But they had both Ethan Sheaf as well as Joshua Murray in that backfield playing both quarterbacks. So we had two quarterbacks out there, but Marcelino Butler Jr. was definitely the name of today. No matter where you found him, he was able to find his way and get himself wide open. As for Tonga Yates, I just can't say enough about his magician ability, I should say. He quite literally would duck out of a crowd and somehow end up on the other side of the field. Just so fast, so able to be able to move around, and his touch with the football has been able to really set up his squad, especially with Brown right there, getting another touchdown on that. He had 4 on the night, just the best big target they could find. They'd throw it deep to him whenever they needed something going, especially if it was a 3rd and long. Especially towards the back end zone, they were able to find Joyce on the other end with the Eau Claire Axemen. He was one of their more consistent receivers, just a big body that they could throw it up to, same as Brown on the other end. But it was really the star power of that Nebraska Siege team that really set them up for success for tonight. Tonga Yates not only being the field general out there on the field, but then catapulting his squad to a now 6-0 record with the St. Joseph's Goats upcoming. And those two teams are going to be the top of this league after tonight, with both of them trying to get one of those number one spots in the league for that playoff conference here. And the Axemen trying to just get their first win of the season. They've had injuries throughout the year, but have been hard struck to really try and find their way throughout the season, and have not been able to get themselves their first win. They were close tonight, couldn't really finish off that strong. They've had chances earlier in the season, but they've got a couple more games coming up to get that first win of the season, and another one to get a chance at a win at home here for the crowd. They showed out tonight. The fans were loud. It was fun. It was fun to see, and we were happy to have you along here on the Arena League broadcast. I was Daniel Zons. Very happy to be with you tonight. Have a great rest of your night.
Getting through that halftime, man.
I kept on pulling stuff. I literally was getting down to my notes at the end there. I was like, what the?